Chapter 578. Lawyer Wang had always been helpless when it came to his daughter. Ever since she was a child, he had always obeyed her unconditionally. Therefore, even though his daughter had chosen a completely different path from what he had imagined, he had never once blamed her. When Wang Xinyu was very young, he had instilled in her the desire to study law, so that she could enter a law university and major in the future. His precious daughter had lived up to his expectations at the age of 18 and had been admitted to the University of Political Science and Law. But even so, what could she do? After entering the University of Political Science and Law, Wang Xinyu, who no longer cared about law, was finally free from her parents' supervision. She was like a runaway wild horse, devoting all her attention to the entertainment industry. When it came to gossip about celebrities in the entertainment industry, there was almost nothing she couldn't talk about. Her biggest dream was to enter the entertainment industry. Finally, Wang Xinyu heard that Sky Entertainment Group was going to hold a model audition. She signed up without hesitation, not even bothering to discuss it with her family. With her super big boobs characteristic, she easily stood out in the Beijing audition this time and directly took the first place. Her boldness was completely out of everyone's expectations. Her figure was simply like a clothes rack. When she walked the runway, she had a youthful and sexy style, but also a pure and innocent feeling. She directly blinded the titanium alloy dog eyes of many of the male otakus. Because the model audition was held through online voting, Wang Xinyu, who could easily arouse the desire of male otakus, stood out in Beijing with an overwhelming advantage. Of course, there were so many cities in the country, and there were dozens of regional champions. It was definitely not because a regional champion could attract the attention of Sky Entertainment Group, but because her votes were actually higher than the total number of first-place winners in the other regions. This was the first time in Sky Entertainment Group's many years of model auditions that this had happened. This difference attracted Zhou Meiyan's attention. She immediately asked someone to find Wang Xinyu's photo for her to see. At that moment, she understood why so many men were crazy about her. The charm in this girl's eyes was absolutely innate. She was very suitable to be promoted as the goddess of male otakus. Then, she could easily gain attention and create a few news articles. She would probably be able to grab the headlines in a situation where there was no explosive news like a big name's marriage or divorce. In the end, Zhou Meiyan made the right choice. Before the modeling contest ended, she personally went to see Wang Xinyu and chatted with her about life. Who would have thought that this freshman from the University of Political Science and Law would have such a strong desire to enter the film and television industry? She didn't even ask for any conditions before joining Sky Entertainment. Her only request was for Zhou Meiyan to help her convince her father. Sure enough, when Wang Xinyu joined Sky Entertainment and gained some fame, Lawyer Wang finally found out about his daughter's crazy actions. He even found out that his daughter had not been to school for months. Lawyer Wang was furious. He swore that he would use his connections to sue Sky Entertainment Corporation. However, when faced with reality, he finally chose to compromise. Sky Entertainment Corporation's legal team was no weaker than his own. Even if his daughter cut ties with him, she would still stand on Sky Entertainment Corporation's side. When he found out how much his daughter wanted her current life, how much she wanted to do this industry, he finally gave in. He tried to accept the current situation. At this time, Sky Entertainment Group was in the early stages of Wang Xinyu's career. With her as the main character, they took advantage of her winning the modeling competition to shoot an idol drama. Coupled with the participation of a popular young man, the idol drama became popular in Huaxia. At this time, Lawyer Wang also discovered his daughter's talent in acting. His daughter, who had never attended a single acting class, could act so naturally in front of the camera. This completely shocked him. From then on, Lawyer Wang no longer tried to stop his daughter. At the time, he was also worried about the unspoken rules in the entertainment industry. However, the first person Wang Xinyu came into contact with was Zhou Meiyan, the CEO of Sky Entertainment Corporation. Therefore, even if someone wanted to break the unspoken rules, they would not have the opportunity. This made Lawyer Wang feel relieved. Then, with the high signing fees and advertising fees, Lawyer Wang had no choice but to lower his head to his daughter. Perhaps his daughter was born to do this. From then on, Lawyer Wang no longer tried to stop his daughter. Instead, he supported her unconditionally. 2 to 3 years passed by quickly. He would never have thought that his daughter would become a famous actress in the entertainment industry. As a father who had not rejected his daughter for a long time, how could he reject her today? Since the other party was the future successor of Sky Entertainment Corporation and would be helpful to his daughter's career, he could not reject her. Then invite your boss to a high-end place for a cup of tea. Don't come home too late. I know. Wong Sinyu quickly grabbed her bag and ran to the Jeep Grand Cherokee that had already started. Because Su Yun wanted to wait until the weekend to meet Ma San-er at the Ghost Market in Pan Garden, he decided to stay in Yanjing for 2 more days. Wong Sinyu opened the car door and quickly sat in his car. Su Yun asked hesitantly, "Oh, is there anything else?" "Chairman Su, it's our first time meeting. I was a bit nervous just now. Please don't mind." Wong Sinyu said, "If there's nothing else, can I invite you for a cup of tea?" Su Yun was not used to being called Chairman Su. "Did Sister Fong Ying ask you to come?" "Haha, I thought she would find a familiar lawyer." Don't call me Chairman Su. I'm not used to it. Just call me Su Yun." Wong Sinyu smiled slightly. "I can't just call you that. Actually, the lawyer is also here. He's my dad. Have you heard of Yen Jing's Victory Law Firm? Your dad can't be Lawyer Wong, right?" Su Yun was surprised. Wong Sinyu smiled slightly and nodded. "It seems that my dad's popularity in the ears of successful people like you is greater than mine. Like father, like daughter. No matter what, you are the hottest new star in the past 3 years." Su Yun, "Thank you for today's matter. I guess that the police recently had a task to catch people. They couldn't complete the task, so they prepared to catch a few foreigners who do foot massage to make up the numbers." Wong Sinyu said in disbelief, "No way, this is too ridiculous. I must send an email to the municipal party secretary and ask him to investigate this abuse of power." "Chairman Su, today's matter has frightened you. I know a good place to drink tea. Let's go there to calm down." "Forget about drinking tea. I can't sleep at night after drinking tea." "Su Yun, I appreciate your kindness. I really appreciate it. But, the driver left just now. What are you going to do alone? Do you want me to accompany you?" Wong Sinyu said, "I'm familiar with Yanjing. I've lived here since I was a child." What else could Su Yun say? Then we can be considered as half of the same hometown. I can also say that I've lived here since I was a child. Haha, although I'm not from Yanjing, I'm familiar with Yanjing's grass and trees. I don't have anything to do now, but I don't want to trouble you anymore." At this moment, Su Yun saw the BMW that sent Wong Sinyu here leave. Seeing the inquiry in Su Yun's eyes, Wong Sinyu said, "My dad is old. I'm worried that it's not good for his health if he sleeps too late. So I let him go back first." "Oh. Anyway, I don't have anything to do now. Since you can't sleep at night after drinking tea, how about I treat you to coffee?" "How can I do that? You helped me today. I should be the one treating you." Su Yun smiled slightly. "Let's go." "Where do you want to go?" "Otherwise, let's go." Seeing that Su Yun didn't put on any airs and was very kind, Wong Sinyu liked this mysterious successor more and more. If he was the CEO of Sky Entertainment Group, she would definitely support him. After all, Zhua Meiyan was a woman. Women couldn't talk to each other coquettishly like men could. Moreover, Zhua Meiyan was definitely a strong woman. Her aura was too strong. Wong Sinyu was more or less restrained in front of her. Wong Sinyu's idol was Ling Jiling. She hoped that one day she could be as smooth as Ling Jiling. She hoped that she could be as smooth as Ling Jiling. She wanted to be able to handle any boss with ease. She wanted to be the top actress in Sky Entertainment Group. This was her ambition from the day she entered Sky Entertainment Group. However, every artist signed by Sky Entertainment Group worked very hard. Even Ling Jiling and the other female stars who had been in the entertainment industry for many years didn't have a side where they didn't work hard. Therefore, if she wanted to make a name for herself in Sky Entertainment Group, Wang Xinyu felt that this mysterious successor was the best opportunity she could seize. Perhaps it was because she had been in the entertainment industry for so long that Wang Xinyu's original innocence had long been covered up. She knew very well what she needed to do to get to the top. Therefore, she had always carefully protected the most important thing to her. If she couldn't meet the man who could help her reach the top in a single step, she would never let anyone touch her. Now, this man seemed to have appeared. If she could take him down and use the secret of their relationship as a bargaining chip, she might be able to exchange it for a year of strong promotions. She wanted to be the top actress in Sky Entertainment Group. Everything seemed so close. Wang Xinyu? What's wrong? I just asked you about the 2 stores. Which one do you want to go to? Su Yun couldn't help but ask. When he asked her just now, she started giggling to him. Wang Xinyu suddenly came back to her senses. She didn't hear what Su Yun said at all. She was just fantasizing about her own life. Go anywhere. I believe that Chairman Su's choice will definitely be better than mine. Su Yun really didn't like being called Chairman Su. Otherwise, you can call me brother. Just don't call me Chairman Su. I'm really not used to it. Brother. Of course that's good. This form of address was definitely a step closer than Chairman Su's. Wang Xinyu immediately called out sweetly, Big Brother Su Yun, hee, is this alright? I've always wanted to have a brother who could protect me since I was young. I didn't think that one would appear now. She thought about the future of Sky Entertainment Group. Su Yun would inherit Sky Entertainment Group. Other female celebrities would have to call him Chairman Su in front of him, but she could call him Brother Su Yun. How glorious would that be? As your brother, I really didn't protect you today. Instead, I let you protect me. Su Yun didn't notice Wang Xinyu's true thoughts. He just felt that he owed her a favor. Treating her to a cup of coffee was a way of returning the favor. Chapter 579. Where's your house? I'll find a place close to your house to treat you to a drink. It's getting late. Su Yun. You're a girl. If you go home late, your family will be worried. Wang Xinyu shook her head. My house. My house is very far from the city. Su Yun smiled awkwardly. Are you saying that you live in a villa in the outskirts of the city? Even if it is, there must be a club nearby. I'll treat you to a club near your house. There's nothing near my house. Really, let's go to Erlaton. I'm suddenly hungry. Why don't we find a place to eat? Okay, I'll treat you. Su Yun Gij, what do you want to eat? Wang Xinyu rejected Su Yun's suggestion. But it's pretty late now. I ate hot pot last night, so I'm not hungry. Su Yun, if your house is so far away, then we should find a place closer. But I'm hungry. Wang Xinyu's coquettish skills were not weak. Oh, I know. Gij, you must be afraid that it'll be too troublesome to send me back. Don't worry, I won't trouble you. I can take a taxi back. Really, you don't have to worry about that. Su Yun shook his head. That's definitely not what I meant. Besides, I can't let a girl like you go back so far in the middle of the night. Also, you're the most popular girl in Sky Entertainment. If you meet a bad guy and have any bad intentions, then it'll be troublesome. No matter how late it is, I'll send you back. Don't misunderstand me. I'm the one who wants to thank you. Why would I think it's troublesome? Wang Xinyu's heart was filled with sweetness by Su Yun's words. Since you said so, I feel so safe. Hee, we're so fated. The nightlife in Beijing has just begun. Why should we go back so early? Gij, listen to me this time. Let's go get some snacks. I know a place that has really good fried tripe. Ever since I joined Sky Entertainment, I haven't dared to eat here. I really miss it. Brother, if you really want to thank me, then take me to that restaurant. To be honest, no man could resist a beauty calling him brother. Every man would have the desire to protect his sister, especially those who didn't have a sister. At this moment, they would have a special feeling. Su Yun had also envied those who had younger sisters. The enormous power produced by familial love was definitely not something that ordinary people could resist. Okay. Su Yun accepted Wang Sinyu's request calmly, then let's go to Erlaton. But, do they sell pork belly there? Erlaton is not just a bar. Wang Sinyu's request was met. Naturally, she was very proud. She took out a small mirror that she always carried with her to dress herself up. At the same time, she took out a very large pair of sunglasses from her bag. Although it was night time, she still wore the sunglasses on her face. The sunglasses were not to block the sun, but to cover her face. There were a lot of paparazzi in Erlaton. In recent years, local white-collar workers, foreign tourists, and even celebrities from the entertainment industry and the sports industry had all become frequent visitors. Therefore, paparazzi often came here to take pictures. Although being involved in a scandal with the mysterious heir of Sky Entertainment was news that could make Wang Sinyu's fame skyrocket, because Su Yun hadn't taken over Sky Entertainment yet, she still didn't want this news to be exposed. If presidents were found out, she could ignore it, but if she opposed it, then wouldn't her acting career be ruined? At the very least, Wang Sinyu wasn't sure if Su Yun and Zhua Meiyan's relationship was good or bad. It was better to be safe than sorry. This was her life's motto, and also her life's creed. Su Yun knew that she wore the sunglasses to protect her privacy, so he didn't say anything. He smiled slightly and drove to Erlaton. Erlaton was located in the central western part of Yanjing City. It got its name because it was 2 miles away from the inner city. Erlaton could be said to be one of the busiest nightlife streets in modern Yanjing. It was a place frequented by celebrities, rich people, and foreigners living in Yanjing. Erlaton was one of the busiest places in Yanjing at night. It was said that half of Yanjing's bars were clustered within a 3-kilometer radius. Every night, there would be red lights, green lights, and people bustling about. The lights were overflowing with color, reflecting the hustle and bustle of the city. For a long time, Erlaton's bar street gave people the feeling of looking at flowers in a fog. No one could see its true appearance, and no one could accurately define its commercial location. But because many people liked to come, and they all came in groups, it naturally became a place to socialize. Su Yun and Wang Sinyu weren't customers here for the first time, so they were very clear about who was soliciting customers. Along the way, they didn't pay any attention to them. Soon, Su Yun, under Wang Sinyu's lead, found the restaurant that she mentioned. The shop was super small, but the number of customers was unbelievable. Presumably, if it weren't for the fact that the tripe sold so well, the boss wouldn't have set up a shop in this place where every inch of land was worth an inch of gold. Su Yun asked Wang Sinyu to wait in the car while she went to line up. After waiting for about half an hour, she finally managed to buy 2 servings. At this time, Wang Sinyu, who was in the car, couldn't wait to run over and taste the delicacies. As a female star in the entertainment industry, her figure was her biggest asset to make money. So in order to maintain her figure, Wang Sinyu couldn't casually eat what she wanted to eat all year round. So in her eyes, a simple serving of tripe was super delicious. While eating, she complained to Su Yun about her grievances. Ever since she entered the entertainment industry, her dinner was basically fruit. It wasn't that no one made it for her, it was that she didn't dare to eat it. Because the seniors in Sky Entertainment talked about how to maintain a figure every day. They said that if a woman didn't maintain her figure, she would become worse day by day after the age of 25. So Wang Sinyu started to control herself. Every time she wanted to eat, she would think about her position as Sky Entertainment Group's top sister. Because of this, she couldn't speak at all. "Brother, would you believe it? I haven't eaten ice cream in 2 years. Wang Sinyu said, "When I entered the entertainment industry, I didn't think it would be so difficult. Usually, people only see the glamorous side of stars, but they don't see the other side. I don't even dare to look at the food I want to eat when it's right in front of me. It's a very helpless feeling. If I wasn't with you today, I wouldn't dare to eat this tripe. Hee, after eating it, I won't even dare to eat fruit for 3 consecutive nights." Su Yun looked at the girl in front of him who was just over 20 years old. In order to achieve her dream, she was willing to sacrifice so much. Her strength was amazing. "Since you're with me, you should relax. Let's go. I'll treat you to ice cream. Su-yun said, it's okay to indulge once in a while. If you always starve yourself, you'll get sick sooner or later. Wang Xinyu shrugged. It's okay. I haven't eaten it for a long time, so I can't remember it. I don't remember the taste, so I don't know whether I like it or not. Do you still remember the taste of ice cream? Su-yun pointed at a Häagen-Dazs not far away. Wang Xinyu stuck out her tongue naughtily. I think so. Then she should seize the time to think about it. If she really forgot it, then what fun would there be in life? Su-yun pulled Wang Xinyu to the ice cream shop. It's okay for you to eat something you want to eat occasionally. Why give up so many good things in life for a little fame and success? If I have to worry about everything I eat, I'd rather not have that success. Wang Xinyu smiled. She didn't agree with Su-yun's point of view. Her success depended on hard work, and Su-yun was born to inherit the Sky Entertainment Group. He didn't need to work so hard to stand at the top of the pyramid. As the president of the Sky Entertainment Group, even in Yanjing, he was one of the few top celebrities and rich people. After all, many A-list stars under the Sky Entertainment Group were famous and rich people. If Wang Xinyu wanted to stand at that height, she would have to work a lot, just like those A-list stars. She would have to work hard for more than 10 years to become a real celebrity and a person at the top of the pyramid. Even then, she still had to look up to Su-yun, who stood at the top of the pyramid. No matter what, the boss of the company was always the biggest winner behind the scenes. Brother, we're not the same, so you can't understand my thoughts. After Wang Xinyu took the ice cream from Su-yun, a bitter smile appeared on her face. If you didn't buy it for me today, I can't believe I'd have the chance to eat something so high-calorie. Haha, so many calories. Su-yun didn't hesitate to eat. Do you think I'm fat? I don't control anything I eat. Losing weight can't only rely on diet. Exercise is the most important thing. Using the words of super weight loss coach Wang, there is no shortcut to losing weight. If you want to be healthy and fit, you have to exercise more and keep breaking your limits. Yes. Wang Xinyu also ate the ice cream. She was so happy that she reached out to feed Su-yun. Su-yun couldn't refuse, so he could only accept. At this time, Wang Xinyu saw a flash of light in a corner more than 10 meters away. She looked up and saw a paparazzi with a camera quickly turn around and pretend nothing happened. Wang Xinyu's heart was in a mess. She couldn't let this matter become a scandal. This kind of scandal outside the company's control couldn't be left behind. Someone was secretly taking photos. Wang Xinyu pointed at the paparazzi. In a flash, Su-yun dashed forward. His speed absolutely shocked Wang Xinyu. The paparazzi who wanted to turn around and run didn't have time to take the third step before he was fiercely tripped and fell to the ground. The camera that he didn't put in his bag in time also fell to the ground with a crash. The lens shattered on the ground. Under the illumination of the light, the ground was sparkling. Seeing the broken camera, the paparazzi was stunned on the spot. Everyone knew that drugs ruined one's life. The price of a professional SLR camera lens was quite high. The person who made him break the camera actually picked up the camera, took out the memory card inside and broke it. One had to know that there were not only photos taken secretly just now, but also photos of a male star and a young model kissing in a dark corner. There were also photos of a girl who became famous because of hype and a foreigner's godfather having sex in a car. These were all important news that could be sold at a high price. Chapter 580. The two of them weren't even on the same level. How could a mere paparazzo be Su-yun's opponent? When his weak fist was about to hit Su-yun, Su-yun didn't even look and kicked him. The seemingly ordinary kick sent the paparazzi flying a few meters away. In the end, the paparazzi even flipped twice before coming to a stop. This guy had lost a great deal of face and was naturally unable to accept this reality. After all, there were already people around who had heard the commotion and were looking over. How could he bear to be humiliated in front of so many people? In his anger, this guy actually took out a small folding knife that he always carried with him. With a ferocious expression, he steeled his heart and raised the knife to stab Su Yun in the heart. Facing this sudden scene, Wang Xinyu was completely stunned. She didn't think that bringing the prince here would cause so much trouble. If something really happened, she wouldn't be able to bear the responsibility. In a moment of panic, the ice cream in Wang Xinyu's hand trembled and fell to the ground. On the other hand, Su Yun faced all of this calmly. He allowed the paparazzo to dangerously stab him with the knife. Although this guy's knife missed by a hair's breadth, he still couldn't hurt Su Yun at all. After dodging a few knives, Su Yun attacked again. He cleanly kicked the paparazzo's wrist and the folding knife in his hand was kicked away. Then, Su Yun forcefully slapped the paparazzo's left cheek. Pa-dash! Following a loud and clear sound, the ferocious paparazzo was sent flying by Su Yun's slap. He only stopped when his head hit the green belt by the roadside. The immense pain and rapidly swelling face made the paparazzo realize that he definitely wasn't a match for the other party. He crawled up and finally didn't dare to move forward again. I rarely look down on people in my life, but I really look down on people in your line of work. Su Yun, do you know what privacy is? There are many people on the streets who want to stir up news. Many people deliberately spread rumors in order to fight for news. You can film those people. It's a win-win for everyone. If you don't want to be photographed, you'd better not invade other people's privacy. That paparazzo sneered as he got up and snorted heavily. If it weren't for us helping to dig up news and create scandals, how could so many people become famous? If you have the guts, don't leave now. I swear I'll let you crawl out of Erlaton. Su Yun was quite disgusted by this kind of threat. Since the other party had already said so, he had no reason not to stay and see what the other party could do to him. I wasn't going to leave anyway. You can do whatever you want. But I'm warning you, don't let me see you again. It won't be so simple next time. The paparazzo snorted and quickly ran away. Of course, Su Yun couldn't be bothered to argue with him. These days, this kind of nickname was really rare. These guys really lived up to their name. Wait a minute. You guys are bullying him with numbers. Wang Xinyu didn't want Su Yun to get hurt. She couldn't help but step forward and say, "What do you want? You can state your conditions. As long as you solve it well, we can negotiate." Boy, you are not as sensible as this woman. Ha ha ha. When Dago heard this, he looked up to the sky and laughed a few times. Okay, since our otaku goddess Wang Xinyu has spoken, then I won't talk nonsense with you guys. If this boy doesn't want to die in front of us today, then give me 200,000. Also, he, goddess, since we have met today, it must be fate. Let's go, I am the VIP of Lon Gue Fong. Let's go and have a drink together. You can apologize to them and give them 2 scantily clad photo books. Then, this matter will be over. Hearing Dago say this, everyone laughed loudly. Wang Xinyu was so angry that her face and ears turned red. She didn't expect these guys to be so arrogant. They didn't take anyone seriously at all. These people were already a group of rotten bastards. Su Yun sneered. Your target seems to be me, right? Before I get angry, hurry up and get out of here. F***CK. What are you talking about? You are looking for death. Dago was immediately angry. He was originally prepared to move around. If this boy knelt down and admitted his mistake now, he wouldn't have the chance to beat him up. In Dago's eyes, anyone who was beaten up would be well-behaved and obedient. As long as he didn't hold back, he could beat the other party until they wailed like ghosts and begged for mercy. At that time, that little actress would have to obediently accompany them to the bar to drink, and this boy would have to obediently sit on the bench. Ergo was obviously a veteran in fighting. He wanted to give Su Yun a heavy kick. Clearly, he wanted to intimidate Su Yun. But what he didn't expect was that the speed he was so proud of was not even worth mentioning in front of his opponent. The moment his heavy kick came out, Su Yun pulled his body aside and dodged it. Moreover, he seized the opportunity to grab Dago's calf and ruthlessly punched his knee. With a loud crack, Dago's right leg appeared in an incredible state in front of everyone. His right leg was completely crippled. Dago couldn't bear the immense pain at all. He squatted on the ground with a howl. The scene in front of him made him tremble with fear. He couldn't believe that the leg in front of him was his own. The bend of the knee was completely different from a normal person's. The visual impact was far greater than the physical pain. Su-yun was really intimidating them. The group of hooligans was completely stunned. In their previous lives, they had always thought that they were ruthless enough. But they had never thought that this guy in front of them would be even more ruthless than them. With this punch, Dago was completely crippled. The bone in his knee wasn't like other places. Even if it could be treated, he would still be a cripple in the end. It was said that a dog's leg was the hardest. It couldn't be broken. Su-yun smiled slightly. Today, it seems that it's not as strong as the legends say. Dago saw that his brother's leg was broken, and an unknown anger rose in his heart. He roared and called for all his brothers to pounce on him. Go! Give him a good beating. Avenge my brother. I must kill him today. More than a dozen people pounced on Su-yun. Su-yun moved through the crowd with ease. Wherever his fists and feet went, there was a scene of wailing. At first, Wang Xinyu stood aside and didn't dare to watch. But now, she was completely shocked. This was even fiercer than a grandmaster. One had to know that in the movie, special effects were used to create the effect. But this was reality. Su-yun kicked the last person away. The group of hooligans who had been baring their fangs and brandishing their claws were only left with Dago and the paparazzo who had called for help. The paparazzo really didn't expect that he had offended someone who could fight so well. If he had known, he wouldn't have come back to provoke him even if he was beaten to death. It turned out that when he first started to fight with Dago, he didn't take him seriously and just sent him away casually. Now, he was serious. Dago was also stunned. After so many years in Erlaton, he had seen people who could fight, but this was the first time he had seen someone who could fight so well. To be honest, he was really shocked. Now, even standing in front of Dago, he couldn't help but tremble. He couldn't face Dago directly at all. An overwhelming and one-sided battle had just ended when a few people came out of the door of a bar not far away. Hearing that there was a show outside, and it was Dago and his gang who were educating people, Fu Tian and his gang, who liked to watch a show, certainly didn't want to miss it. Chapter 581. Fu Tian couldn't help but be curious. He wanted to go forward to take a look, but his brother, Huang Shaohan, grabbed his arm. Just as Fu Tian was about to question him, Huang Shaohan raised his finger in surprise and pointed at the isolated figure. Brother Tian, isn't that Brother Su-yun? What? Fu Tian was stunned. Su-yun. He looked in the direction that Huang Shaohan was pointing at and was completely stunned on the spot. There was no doubt about it. Who else could it be but Su-yun? How did this damned big dog provoke Brother Su-yun? It made him confused. He couldn't figure it out at all. Big Dog and the others were hooligans in the entertainment circle who made a living by secretly taking photos of celebrities. They had nothing to do with Su-yun. Brother Tian, I can't believe that Brother Yun is so awesome that he can even pick up the new generation of otaku goddess, Wang Xinyu. Wu Xuqing shook his head in admiration and lamented that Su-yun was really an expert at picking up girls. After all, Wang Xinyu was the target of many rich second generation in Yanjing, but they couldn't even get a chance to meet her even if they begged. At this time, Wang Xinyu was really not worried about Su-yun at all. Even the superstars on set couldn't compare to someone who could fight so well. She walked to Su-yun's side and took out a tissue from her pocket to wipe Su-yun's sweat. Su-yun tactfully refused. He really couldn't sweat with this amount of activity. Fu Tian and the other famous playboys in Beijing were dumbfounded. They were all men, but why was the difference so big? None of them were born in poor conditions. Their families were all famous businessmen in Beijing. Even they couldn't find a chance to meet the new goddess, but she actually personally wiped Su-yun's sweat. Su-yun's prestige in their hearts instantly increased several times. It turned out that this Brother Yun, who they thought was amazing, was even more amazing than they thought. When Dago saw his brothers being beaten up, he felt fear and anger in his heart. For a moment, he even had the thought of risking his life to fight the other party. Just as he stealthily put his hand into his pocket to take out a knife, Fu Tian and a group of hedonistic sons of rich families rushed over from not far away. Fu Tian's performance was particularly eye-catching. He stepped forward and gave the big dog a hard slap in the face. "Big dog. You've grown a lot in the past 2 years, haven't you? You dare to touch anyone now? Do you know who this is?" This was Su Yun, Brother Yun. "Daring to touch my Fu Tian's brother, I think you're really tired of living, ah?" Did he really think that he was the boss of Erliton? "Believe it or not, I'll just call Boss Rue and his men to hack you to death." When Dago saw Fu Tian and the others, he thought that this group of dandy young masters who had a good relationship with him would help him. He didn't expect that he would receive such a resounding slap in the face. This made Dago's mind go blank. What was this? Who exactly did he offend? Why did Fu Tian, who was usually his brother, give him such a resounding slap in the face so impolitely? Although he, Dago, wasn't a big deal in this area, other than Boss Rue, he really didn't put anyone else in his eyes. Usually, these hedonistic sons of rich families didn't even lower themselves in front of him. He remembered that last time when Fu Tian met him in Erliton's bar, he even gave him 2 bottles of royal salute and a bottle of emperor's dignity. He didn't expect that in less than a week after meeting him, he would fall out with him. Just because of that guy. Su Yun. Dago's mind searched hard, over and over again, but he still couldn't find this person's name in his mind. After all, he was in the underworld and ate this bowl of rice. How could he not know this kind of big shot? The more he thought about it, the more confused Dago became. He really regretted it. Even if he was going to die, he should let him know who he had offended, right? "Great young Master Tian, I accept your slap on my face. But you should at least tell me why, right?" Dago stared at Fu Tian without blinking. "We didn't have much of a friendship before, but when we met, we called each other brothers. Today's slap has made me understand that in your eyes, I'm just a fart." Fu Tian was stared at by Dago, but he didn't show any fear. "What, you want to threaten me? Humph, I gave you face before because you are Boss Rue's man. But today, even if Boss Rue offended Brother Yun, I would fall out with him, let alone you. If you don't want to die, get out." Dago gave Fu Tian a thumbs up, meaning that he was ruthless enough to not even put Boss Rue in his eyes. Dago didn't say anything after that. He pulled up Ergo, whose leg was broken, and shouted at the dozen brothers who were knocked to the ground, "Why aren't you leaving? How long are you going to make a fool of yourself here?" Looking at the embarrassed people leaving, Fu Tian still didn't give up. He said, "Dago, if you want revenge, then find me, Fu Tian. Ask your boss Rue if he allows you to hit me. Also, my brother Yun isn't someone you can afford to offend. You'd better not hit a stone with an egg." Su Yun shook his head helplessly and said to Fu Tian, "If you study well, you'll definitely be able to use idioms better than now. Why are you guys here? Brother Yun, didn't I tell you, if you run into trouble in Yanjing, call me?" Fu Tian said, "Fortunately, I was drinking in a bar nearby. When I heard the commotion, I quickly ran out. Fortunately, I came out early, otherwise." Wu Shuqing reached out and pulled Fu Tian, reminding him that even if they didn't come out, Su Yun definitely wouldn't be at a disadvantage. They didn't play a big role at all. When they came out, everything was already over. There was nothing good to do. Fu Tian scratched his head. He was indeed confused. "Brother Yun, let's go. I'll invite you in for a drink to calm down." This suggestion immediately received the support of others. After all, Brother Yun was their idol, and he had Wang Xinyu with him. This made them even more excited. Everyone wanted to know the relationship between this new generation of otaku goddess and Su Yun. Obviously, Wang Xinyu didn't expect things to develop to this point. Of course, she didn't want so many people to disturb her and Su Yun's two-person world. She regretted it in her heart. She should have bought a bigger pair of sunglasses. Otherwise, it would be easy to be recognized by others. There was no need. Su Yun obviously saw through Wang Xinyu's thoughts. He immediately rejected the invitation of Fu Tian and others. We still have something to do. You guys go and drink. When we have time later, we'll get together. Fu Tian was very straightforward. Brother Yun, if you have something to do, just tell me. I'll ask someone to help you do it. Let's have fun. Su Yun pointed at Wang Xinyu. I want to go home with her. Can you find someone to replace me? This rhetorical question directly stunned Fu Tian. He was stunned for a long time before he suddenly understood. He said hurriedly, I can't replace you. I can't replace you. Brother Yun, since you have something to do, then I won't force you to stay. If there's anything that I don't do well, don't mind it. Hee hee. Brother Yun, I hope that every moment of your spring night is worth 1,000 gold. Wang Xinyu's face and ears turned red. Fortunately, they couldn't see it at night. Otherwise, it would be so embarrassing. What nonsense are you talking about? Su Yun glared at him. I'm telling you, don't talk about what happened today. If there's any messy news about Wang Xinyu, I'll directly cause trouble for you guys. Don't worry, brother. Fu Tian patted his chest and said. After saying goodbye to Fu Tian and the group of playboys, Su Yun and Wang Xinyu didn't want to stay here any longer. They quickly walked to the parking lot and left this place as soon as possible. If they continued to play like this, sooner or later, there would be more trouble. After all, Wang Xinyu was also a public figure. She had to pay more attention to things than ordinary people. Looking at Su Yun and Wang Xinyu's receding figures, Fu Tian stood there and watched until they couldn't be seen. Gao Wanya sighed with emotion and said, Tian Ge, this Su Yun Ge is definitely not an ordinary person. Last time, fortunately we didn't provoke him. I asked someone to investigate his background, but I couldn't find anything. You're really bold, daring to investigate anything. Fu Tian said, in the future, don't do such boring things. We don't need to know what kind of person Su Yun Ge is. I only know that he helped me before, and now I sincerely admire him. He is my big brother, and also your big brother. As long as you know this, it's enough. Don't cause trouble. What if Brother Yun finds out that you're investigating him and really gets angry? Do you want to be like Ergu and have a taste of having your dog leg broken with one punch? Gao Wanya felt cold sweat all over. Brother Tian, don't say any more. You're giving me goosebumps all over my body. Brother Yun is really too awesome. This new generation Wang Xinyu hasn't had any scandals yet. What an attractive pure goddess image. How many people want to get close to her? Unexpectedly, she's already in Brother Yun's bag. Huang Xiaohon sighed. We can't compare. There's always someone better. Brother Yun's net worth may be more than all of us combined. I believe that. Nieli nodded his head heavily. Okay, let's go back and drink. Fu Tian called out, Brother Yun's business is not something we can casually guess. Do what you need to do. There are plenty of female stars. Let me tell you, no one has any ideas about Brother Yun's woman. If I find out, I'll be the first to fall out with him. They laughed and walked back to the bar to continue having fun. At this time, Su Yun and Wang Xinyu also returned to the car. Wang Xinyu looked at Su Yun in disbelief. Su Yun Gij, who are you? Why are those famous playboys in Yanjing so respectful to you? Are you not managing Sky Entertainment Group in Jibei because you've been fooling around with them in Yanjing? But how come I've never heard of your name in Yanjing's playboy circle before? Su Yun shrugged. Do I look like the kind of person who fooled around with them every day? You don't look like it. Wang Xinyu shook her head. But I still feel a little, how should I put it? You're too mysterious. Su Yun glanced at Wang Xinyu. Really? Why don't I feel that way? Haha, where do you live? Let's go, I'll take you home. It's already so late. If you don't go home, I'm afraid your parents will be worried. It's best if girls don't play outside for too long. I know, I only recognize you as my Gij, but I don't recognize you as my mother. Don't be like my mother who nags. Wang Xinyu said, the thing I can't stand the most is my mother lecturing me. Phew, I'm already so old, of course I know what I should and shouldn't do. Chapter 582. Under Wang Xinyu's guidance, Su Yun drove all the way to the outer ring. Many rich people, after having a house in the bustling city center, would like to buy a villa in a remote area. With a big yard, they would raise flowers and feed dogs. When they were free, they would also fish in the nearby reservoir, looking for the feeling of being close to nature. Obviously, Wang Xinyu's house was such a place. When Su Yun drove Wang Xinyu home, there was no light in the villa. It seems that your family is all asleep. Su Yun, your parents really trust you. If my daughter came back so late, I would definitely be worried and would wait for her to come home before I could sleep. Having said that, Su Yun could not help but think of Guagua. When he thought of how that lass would grow up to the age where she knew everything, he felt a little jealous when she went out with a boy so late. Wang Xinyu said with a puzzled face, in the past, my parents would definitely wait for me. Why is there no light at all today? Did they not come here today? After that, Wang Xinyu looked at Su Yun with a blank face. Brother Su Yun, can you go in with me to take a look? I'm a little scared. I told my parents that I would come back here tonight. They wouldn't go to bed so early, right? Su Yun could only turn off the car engine and get out with Wang Xinyu. He opened the door of the villa, but there was no sound at all. In this silent night sky, silence always made people feel a little scared. Soon, Wang Xinyu turned on all the lights in the room. While shouting, she looked at all the rooms and returned to Su Yun with a helpless face. Brother Su Yun, it seems that I came to the wrong place. My parents are not here. Maybe they thought that I would come home late today, so they didn't come here and stayed in a house in the city. Su Yun didn't say anything. Anyway, he had to go back to the city to find a hotel. Then let's go back. I promised to take you home. No matter where you go, I will take care of you. Besides, I have to go back to the city to find a hotel. Find a hotel? Wang Xinyu was stunned. Brother Su Yun, don't you have a house in Beijing? I don't have any money. Every inch of land is worth its weight in gold. Where am I going to buy a house? Su Yun, this is the most expensive city in the world. I can't afford it. Of course, Wang Xinyu didn't believe him. Even her salary was controlled by the Sky Entertainment Group. If she could afford a house in Yanjing, what more the heir of the Sky Entertainment Group? Not to mention a house, he could even buy an entire building in the second ring road. Big brother Su Yun, I'm a little tired today. I don't want to go back and forth. Wang Xinyu suddenly said, I live here. You don't have to go back to your parents? Su Yun was stunned. Wang Xinyu nodded and said, I'll call them later and explain to them. They'll be relieved when they know about me. All right then. You should rest early. Su Yun, if there's nothing else, I'll head back first. Wait a minute. Wang Xinyu suddenly said, Brother Su Yun, you just said that you'll look for a hotel when you go back. Why don't you stay here tonight? There are so many rooms here. Since you're my brother, of course I have to be a good host. You can stay here tonight. I'll help you tidy up a room. Su Yun hurriedly waved his hand and said, No, that's too much trouble. It's not convenient for a man and a woman to stay together. You're a public star. If there's any scandal because of me, it'll ruin your reputation. I'd better go. Wang Xinyu said, It's impossible for there to be paparazzi here. Besides, Gidge, if you leave, then I'll be scared to live here alone. You just have tender feelings for the fairer sex. Just do me a favor and stay here with me for one night. I don't dare to spend the night here alone. It's so quiet. What if something happens to me? If any girl were to live alone in a place like this, they would be afraid, right? Then, I'll send you back. Su Yun insisted. I have a headache. I want to go to bed early. Wang Xinyu shook her head. Good brother, you can stay here with me for one night. You can sleep in the room next to mine. That way, I'll feel comforted. You've already called me sister. You can't even satisfy such a small request, right? What kind of brother is this? Su Yun was helpless. Wang Xinyu's words had already reached this point. How could he still refuse? He could only agree to her request. Then, I won't be polite. Really stay here for one night? I'll help you tidy up the room. Wang Xinyu's mood quickly became very good. While helping Su Yun tidy up the room, she said to Su Yun, Brother Su Yun, you go take a bath first. I have a super big jacuzzi at home. I guarantee you'll feel comfortable. Su Yun was really interested in this. Anyway, he had nothing to do. He followed Wang Xinyu's suggestion and went to the jacuzzi. The enjoyment here was definitely much better than in a hotel. A 5-star presidential suite was probably just like this. While Su Yun was comfortably bathing, Wang Xinyu quickly tidied up the room for Su Yun. Then, she called home. Wang Xinyu's father, Lawyer Wang, picked up the phone. Why aren't you back yet? Dad, I won't be going home tonight. Tell Mom not to worry. Wang Xinyu said, You guys should rest early. I won't talk to you anymore. Where are you? When Lawyer Wang heard that his daughter wasn't coming back, of course he was worried. Are you alone? Or with someone? I'm at our villa in the suburbs. Wang Xinyu said, Nobody, just with Mr. Su. If I want to have a place in Sky Entertainment, I have to have a good relationship with Mr. Su. What Mr. Su? That man from today? Lawyer Wang's eyes widened. Is it that man? Wang Xinyu exclaimed. His name is Su Yun. He's the future heir of Sky Entertainment. Don't call him a man. He's a person of status. Dad, I know what I'm doing. I know what you're worried about. Don't worry, I won't do anything overboard. I just want to take advantage of this opportunity to get close to the water and enjoy the moon first. Lawyer Wang was stunned for a moment. Then, he asked again. What did you say his name was? Su Yun. Wang Xinyu asked. Why? Do you know him? Lawyer Wang didn't speak for a long time. Finally he said, Xinyu, you're an adult. I know I can't control you, but I want to remind you, don't do anything overboard. Before he inherits Sky Entertainment, anything can happen. So, listen to me and keep your distance from him. Wang Xinyu knew that her father would nag. Okay, Dad, don't worry. I know what I'm doing. After hanging up, Wang Xinyu happily returned to her room. She took a shower and changed into a sexy spaghetti strap nightgown. She excitedly went to the wine cabinet and found a bottle of champagne. She poured 2 glasses each and waited for Su Yun to come out of the massage room. Lawyer Wang wasn't as calm. He repeated the name his daughter said over and over in his heart. Su Yun. This name sounded familiar. That morning, the big boss gathered all of them and let them listen to an audio recording. In the recording, many of the Paca people shouted a person's name in unfamiliar but clear Chinese. They worshipped that person as their hero. That person's name was Su Yun. This name was followed by the hero of their race. In the eyes of the big boss, it was a bastard who ruined his plans. Therefore, the big boss asked everyone to remember this name clearly. As the lawyer who had been supported by the company for many years, of course, Lawyer Wang clearly remembered this name. Although there were many people with the same name in this world, when he heard the name Su Yun this time, the feeling of fear in his heart made him believe that his sixth sense was not wrong. It was very likely that this Su Yun with his daughter was the Su Yun that the big boss was looking for. Su Yun stayed in the massage room comfortably for 2 hours. Then, he reluctantly wiped himself clean, put on his clothes, and walked out. Because Wang Xinyu's washing machine had a drying function, Su Yun washed his clothes before he took a shower. 2 hours was enough time to wash and dry his clothes. When Su Yun walked out of the bathroom comfortably, he saw the 2 glasses of champagne on the table. He was a little surprised. What's this? It had been a hard day. Of course, he had to drink a glass to relax. Wang Xinyu picked up the 2 glasses of champagne and handed them to Su Yun. Then, she naturally clinked glasses with him. "Brother Su Yun, I'm really happy to meet you. You're the most comfortable boy I've ever met in my life. I'm so lucky to have a brother like you." Su Yun smiled helplessly and shook his head. "You're making me embarrassed. I didn't expect to find such a beautiful and sensible sister at such an old age." Wang Xinyu smiled coquettishly. "Brother Su Yun, this is what you said. In the future, you can't let your sister be bullied. Whether it's in the company or outside, you have to protect me. You're so sensible and hardworking. Whether it's in the company or outside, I certainly won't let anyone bully you. You can rest assured about this." Su Yun drank the champagne in his glass and smiled slightly. "It's getting late. We should go to bed early." Wang Xinyu also drank the champagne and said good night to Su Yun. Living in this kind of place was really comfortable. There was no noise pollution at night, so people could quickly fall into a comfortable sleep. Just as Su Yun was about to fall asleep, there was a sound of footsteps. Then, the door next door opened. Soon, the banging on the door interrupted Su Yun's sleepiness. "Brother Su Yun, I'm afraid of sleeping alone." Wang Xinyu didn't wait for Su Yun to speak. She opened the door and walked into Su Yun's room. She looked at Su Yun with an aggrieved look. "Can I sleep on the floor in your room? If you're by my side, I'll feel more at ease." "How can that be?" Su Yun couldn't let the owner sleep on the floor. He hurriedly got out of bed and said, "That, you sleep on the bed. I'll sleep on the floor." Wang Xinyu shook her head like a rattledrum. "No, no, you're a guest. How can you let a guest sleep on the floor?" "Well, how about we both sleep on the bed?" Su Yun's eyes widened in an instant. What kind of luck is this? A new generation of popular otaku goddess actually took the initiative to ask to sleep in the same bed with me. It's simply going to make all the otaku jealous until they die. Anyway, you're my brother, and I'm your sister. Wang Xinyu didn't care at all. If brother and sister sleep in the same bed, it shouldn't be a big deal, right? Chapter 583. If they really were brother and sister, then so be it, but Su Yun could say that he treated Wang Xinyu as a little sister, but after all, she was the new generation of otaku goddesses. With such a stunner lying next to him, how could he not be aroused? Su Yun couldn't help but think of the current most popular otaku goddess, as well as the #1 beauty under Sky Entertainment, Ling Jiling. She was also an otaku goddess, and she also had a bit of friction with Su Yun. Although he recognized her as his sister, if she really was placed next to Su Yun's mouth again, Su Yun would have a hard time not to eat her. And now, he was facing the same problem. Acute big boobs that made many young boys yearn for her lying next to Su Yun without thinking. This kind of impact wasn't something that ordinary small things could compare to. Su Yun swallowed a mouthful of saliva. For a moment, he didn't know whether he should speak or not. He only knew that he had to force himself to control himself. Because they had only known each other for a short time, the more it was like this, the more likely it was that some kind of love would happen overnight. This was based on scientific evidence. Most men would feel a bit embarrassed to make a move on familiar women. The more familiar they were, the stronger this feeling would be. And the more unfamiliar they were with a woman, the more daring they would be. This was a subtle psychology. Of course, not everyone was like this. Some men like to make a move on their classmates, colleagues, and even friends of the opposite sex. This was a kind of thrill-seeking mentality. Su Yun was also a normal man. Facing a goddess-level girl lying next to him, his hormones would more or less be stimulated. But Su Yun wasn't an impulsive person. Reason allowed him to control his impulses as much as possible. He obediently lay next to Wang Xinyu and slept. Right now, Su Yun's body was definitely stiffer than before. The bigger the ghost in his heart, the stiffer his body would be. Su Yun was also very clear on this point, so he could only silently pray that Wang Xinyu wouldn't do anything that would make him impulsive. If he couldn't control himself, wouldn't he owe another emotional debt? After all, he couldn't promise to take responsibility. However, the world was always like this. The more you were afraid of something, the more you would face it. The more Su Yun didn't want Wang Xinyu to provoke him, the more Wang Xinyu wanted to face it head-on. She actually flipped over and hugged Su Yun from behind. In an instant, Su Yun's entire back went numb. That kind of gentle squeeze made him instantly fall into a dilemma. "Brother Su Yun, you don't mind, right? Usually, I would hug my Winnie the Pooh to sleep, but I forgot to bring it with me today." Wang Xinyu wittily said, "You don't mind being my Winnie the Pooh double, do you? If you don't mind, I'll let go immediately." If a man were to say that he minded at such a time, he would either have water in his head or been kicked by a donkey. Although Su Yun enjoyed the feeling of being relied on, at the same time, she also felt that something was wrong. Perhaps Wang Xinyu did not treat him as a brother at all, but as a man. And today, Su Yun would sleep here. Was it really a coincidence? Su Yun himself was also very clear that a lie was a lie. Ever since he came here, when Wang Xinyu said that her parents didn't come, he already realized that Wang Xinyu was thinking about something. But after all, Su Yun was an ordinary person. Of course, he would make the mistake of deceiving himself. He had been finding reasons to believe that Wang Xinyu didn't do it on purpose. But at this moment, all the reasons were broken. Su Yun was very sure of Wang Xinyu's goal. Perhaps she had set up a trap for Su Yun so that she could have a chance to interact with her. She wanted Su Yun to fall into her trap. However, Su Yun had already seen through this obvious trap, but because of a certain man's thoughts, he didn't expose it at all. At the most critical moment, Su Yun still kept his mind clear. If Wang Xinyu wasn't an artist under Sky Entertainment, perhaps Su Yun would let nature take its course. But now, while his mind was still clear, he took away Wang Xinyu's arms. "Men and women shouldn't touch. Aren't you my brother?" Wang Xinyu still used the same trick. "Brother and sister aren't ordinary men and women. What's wrong with hugging and sleeping?" I want to hug you to sleep." Su Yun didn't know whether to laugh or cry. He could only make things clear. For the sake of a girl's face, of course he wouldn't expose Wang Xinyu's little scheme. "Although what you said is completely right, your brother is still a man. You must know how scary and uncontrollable men are, right?" Wang Xinyu knew that her attack worked. "Even if you can't control yourself, I won't blame you. Then I can only blame myself for being too charming." "Brother, I know that there's a popular multiple-choice question on the internet. There's a survey for otakus. It's called something like which female star do you want to have a one-night surprise with this year?" "I'm ranked third." Su Yun was stunned. He really didn't know. If Wang Xinyu, this seductress, was ranked third, then who would be ranked first and second? "If you don't have any thoughts about me now, I'll be unhappy. This means that you'll definitely choose those two seniors," Wang Xinyu said. "Although I know that seniors work very hard and it's very hard, I also work very hard. I also have the ability to stand in the highest position." Su Yun slowly read Wang Xinyu's ambition. "You're still young. There's still a lot of time. Many of your peers only made their mark when they were dozens of years old. Some actors are always a foil and play supporting roles their whole lives. As long as you work hard, there will be a day when you get the title of Best Actor or Best Actress. God is fair. As long as you put in the effort, there will be a reward." Wang Xinyu replied firmly. "But there are also many people who have the halo of a star from the beginning. There are also many people who debuted early and started shooting movies in their teens. But I debuted late. I don't want to be a foil for my whole life and then be given a pitiful title in the end. I want to stand at the peak of my career and make everyone envious of me." Su Yun was really shocked by this girl's lofty ideals and ambitions. "You'll definitely succeed. Su Yun, do you know that there's a popular saying in the entertainment circle? It says that even if an artist can establish himself and become famous in the entertainment circle, it doesn't mean that he's really successful. That kind of success is just a small success. True success is to reach the peak of the entertainment circle. If you want to reach that step, you must become the #1 person under Sky Entertainment. She thought so highly of Sky Entertainment. Soo-yoon smiled slightly. He vaguely guessed what Wang Xinyu meant. But in my opinion, many people are very successful. Even if they're not the #1 person under Sky Entertainment, there are still many actors and artists that I admire. Wang Xinyu shook her head. In this world, there are many people who are admirable, but there aren't that many people who are respected. If you can't become the #1 person under Sky Entertainment, then you won't be respected by everyone in the entertainment circle. Only the people at the peak can be looked up to by everyone. Soo-yoon didn't respond to her. He didn't expect this little girl to have such a huge ambition hidden in her body. If she was really given a chance, Soo-yoon believed that she would definitely be able to step on the shoulders of all the predecessors and become a superstar who looked down on the stars. However, if she became a superstar before she had a mature mind, it would definitely not be a good thing for her. Arrogance would cause a very big change in an immature girl. No one could guess what she would become in the end. Just like little Bieber, who made everyone's eyes light up and was subdued by his heavenly voice. He became famous at a young age, but today, a few years later, he became a controversial figure. The originally talented American Music Award Best Artist was now accompanied by news of drunk driving, speeding, and smoking marijuana. Just based on this point, Soo-yoon also felt that people who were too young shouldn't be allowed to stand at the peak of life. This would always cause them to get lost in the long road of life. Tribulations were indispensable in a person's life. A smooth life was incomplete, and no one could truly live a smooth life. You'll definitely have a chance in the future. I believe in you, Soo-yoon. But not now. You're not mature enough yet. You don't have enough power to be the #1 person under Sky Entertainment. Wang Xinyu looked at Soo-yoon seriously. Brother Soo-yoon, today Secretary Feng told me that you are the true successor of Sky Entertainment. In the near future, the entire Sky Entertainment will be controlled by you alone. Everyone will have to listen to you. I know that if you want me to succeed, I will definitely be able to become the #1 person under Sky Entertainment. And I can promise you that I won't let you down. I will definitely bring glory to Sky Entertainment and make all the other entertainment companies pale in comparison. Soo-yoon was stunned. At this moment, he finally understood the purpose of Wang Xinyu's arrangements. So this was it. Entering the entertainment industry at such a young age, she was already so scheming. To be honest, this made Soo-yoon's heart ache. Sister Feng Ying was joking. Soo-yoon said calmly, "Even if I take over Sky Entertainment, I won't control the company because I don't know anything about the entertainment industry. Your business will still be managed by President Zhua. So, I don't dare to say who I can make famous." Haha, Xinyu, don't think too much. As long as you work hard, I'm sure President Zhua will value you. After receiving Soo-yoon's reply, Wang Xinyu didn't seem to give up. She suddenly flipped over and straddled Soo-yoon. Her eyes revealed an indescribable charm. "Brother Soo-yoon, I can give you anything you want. It's my first time, really, you can test it. It's the first time I've seen a man as charming as you. I really want to give my first time to a man that I can love with my life. I hope you won't reject me." Soo-yoon was about to continue lecturing her, but Wang Xinyu grabbed his pants with both hands. At that moment, Soo-yoon was shocked. The most important thing for a girl is that she can't be so casual. You can't give up your body for the success of your career. That's not something you should work hard for. I want to give myself to you. It has nothing to do with success. Wang Xinyu insisted, "If I give myself to you, I'm sure Soo-yoon will give me the opportunity when you have the chance." Chief's mind wasn't on us newcomers. I knew that once the largest film and television base in the East was built, it would soon welcome the first film festival at the Qingdao Film and Television Plaza. Those who could walk on the red carpet would definitely be first-tier international stars. With my status as a newbie, the company won't give me the opportunity to attend. Soo-yoon calmed down and grabbed Wang Xinyu's searching hands. "So, for a chance to walk on the red carpet, you're willing to give yourself up?" Chapter 584. Do you think it's worth it? For a chance to walk on the red carpet, you'll lose the most important thing for a girl. Su Yun said with heartache. You know, you're only 20 years old. You still have a long future. You'll have countless chances to walk on the red carpet in your life. But you only have one precious thing. If you lose it for a chance to become famous on the red carpet, do you think it's worth it? Wang Xinyu thought for a long time and didn't give Su Yun a positive answer. Brother Su Yun, everyone in this society knows that my body can be sacrificed for my important career. At least it's not wasted on those sweet-talking hooligans. I think it's worth it. And, since you rejected me just now, I think it's even more worth it. You're a man worthy of me entrusting myself to. Su Yun bluntly hit her on the head. But I've never said that I'll be responsible for you, right? I'll repeat it for the last time. No matter what you do tonight, I can't help you succeed. Whether you can stand on the red carpet of the first film festival in Qingdao Film and Television Base is definitely not up to me. I won't say anything good for you either. But, why, even so, I still want to give myself to Brother Su Yun. Wang Xinyu suddenly burst into tears. This time, she didn't cry on the set or during filming. She actually unconsciously got into the role. Su Yun patted Wang Xinyu's shoulder and said to her, "You're really young. You still have a long way to go. Don't ruin your life because of a moment of impulse. If you really want to recognize me as your brother, then put down your burden and go back to your room to sleep. I believe that everyone can see your efforts. You'll definitely walk on any red carpet you want to walk on with your strength." Wang Xinyu bit her lower lip. It seemed that Su Yun's comfort was very effective. She raised her firm eyes and looked at Su Yun. She said softly, "Really? You're still willing to be my brother?" "Yes." "Su Yun, after all, you helped me. If it weren't for you, I might have been forced to be a prostitute. All right, it's getting late. Go to sleep." This time, Wang Xinyu obediently got up from Su Yun's body and got up to return to her room. Just as she got off the bed and turned around to say a word of thanks, Su Yun suddenly flew up and directly pushed Wang Xinyu to the ground. This sudden turn of events caused Wang Xinyu's heart to jump into her throat. For a moment, she felt as if time had stopped. Su Yun raised his hand and gestured for her to keep quiet. Then, a burst of crazy gunfire tore through the quiet night sky. The sound of glass shattering accompanied by the sound of bullets hitting the bed was terrifying to Wang Xinyu's ears. In an instant, her mind went completely blank. She knew very well that this was definitely not a movie set because there would not be such realistic gunshots and flying debris in a movie set. Wang Xinyu, who was born with good acting skills, seemed to have completely lost any talent for acting at this moment. Her expression was only left with shock. The shock that came from the heart was not as wonderful as her expression on the screen, but it was more real. The crazy gunfire lasted for a minute. Su Yun covered Wang Xinyu's mouth with his hand and pressed his body on top of hers, hiding in the gap between the bed and the wardrobe. He did not know who was outside, but fortunately, when the group of people suddenly appeared, Su Yun heard the sound of bullets being loaded. After the gunfire ended, 3 people jumped in through the completely shattered window with heavy footsteps. Su Yun stood up at this moment without hesitation. The moment the first person fell to the ground and before he could react, his fist completely shattered the cheekbone of the other person. Seeing their companion fall out of the window, the other 2 people wanted to shoot at Su Yun again in a frenzy. Su Yun, who was already prepared, swept away the weapon in the second person's hand with a whip kick and snatched the weapon in the third person's hand. He raised the gun butt and smashed the second person's head fiercely. Then, he stood up and kicked the second person out of the window. The third person did not have a weapon in his hand. Su Yun directly hit his forehead with a submachine gun, and he immediately stopped moving. Su Yun was carefully listening to the surrounding sounds. After confirming that there was no one else, he coldly said to the guy in black in front of him, "Who are you people? What's your purpose here? Is it me, or her?" The man in black sneered, "Su Yun, then who do you think we came here in the middle of the night for?" Since the other party could call out his name, the answer was obvious. Su Yun suddenly shot the man's right knee and asked again fiercely, "Who sent you? You know what you've done." After his knee was shattered by the bullet, the man in black knelt on the ground with one knee. The pain made him even angrier, but in the face of Su Yun's powerful strength, he was completely powerless. He could only use words to gain some advantage. Don't think that you can escape forever just because you escaped this time. Our big boss will not let you go easily. Su Yun's mind instantly flashed with the image of the Paca tribe in the ice and snow. Could it be that these people were here for the Viper exploration team? The big boss's ability really made Su Yun look at him in a new light. It was unbelievable that he could find him in such a short time. Was it true? If so, then go to hell. Su Yun raised his leg and kicked the man in the chest, sending him flying out of the window and down the building. Wang Xinyu, who was scared out of her wits, had no idea what had happened. She looked at Su Yun with panicked eyes, as if asking him what happened and why everything suddenly turned out like this. Su Yun did not have any good way to deal with it. He could only quickly pull up Wang Xinyu, who was still in a panic, and said to her, "Leave with me now and change out of your pajamas. Quick. I'll only give you 1 minute." As he spoke, Su Yun had already put on all his clothes. His speed was quite amazing. He wanted to leave immediately because he could not be sure when the next group of people would come to find him. Su Yun was very sure that if these 3 people did not return to report in the stipulated time, there would be a second, or even a third group of people coming soon. If it was just him here, it would be fine. But Wang Xinyu was with him, and this was Wang Xinyu's home. Su Yun did not feel good about it. Wang Xinyu seemed to have not recovered from the horror just now. When she changed into her pajamas, she took off her clothes and left them in her room. Now, she did not dare to leave Su Yun for even half a step. Su Yun had no choice but to accompany her to the room. Bearing the pressure of the hot blood rushing to his head, he watched her change her clothes with his own eyes. Then, he quickly drove her away. It was already 2 o'clock in the morning. Su Yun did not call the police. He did not want to have anything to do with the police. As long as he sent Wang Xinyu to her parents would naturally call the police. He did not need to worry about it. If the police came to find him, then he would deal with it. Soon, Su Yun arrived at the address Wang Xinyu told him and personally sent her upstairs. But not long after Su Yun pressed the doorbell, Wang Xinyu's father, Mr. Wang, got up and opened the door. When Mr. Wang saw his daughter and a strange man standing at the door, he was stunned. Wang Xinyu finally walked out of the horror just now. She plunged into her father's arms and cried. Mr. Wang did not comfort his daughter at first. Instead, he looked at Su Yun and asked in surprise, "You are Su Yun?" Su Yun did not want to bring trouble to their family, so he did not explain much. "I'm sorry, uncle. I seem to have provoked some people. If I have caused you unnecessary trouble, I hope you can forgive me. I won't explain to you now. Xinyu will tell you about it. If you need any compensation in the future, I will not avoid it." After that, Su Yun left quickly without looking back. Su Yun could not wait for Ma San'er for so long. Yanjing seemed to have become a place of trouble. After Su Yun left, Mr. Wang hurriedly pulled his daughter into the room and asked her what had happened. When Wang Xinyu told Mr. Wang what had happened, Mr. Wang immediately collapsed on the sofa. He could not believe that a gunfight had happened right next to his daughter. Bullets did not have eyes. If Mr. Wang had known that the big boss would be so ruthless, he would not have spoken nonsense even if he was beaten to death. If something had happened to his daughter just now, he would not be able to face the child's mother and the ancestors of the Wang family for the rest of his life. Wang Xinyu finally found a sense of security next to her father. When she regained consciousness, the first thing she did was to take out her phone and call the police. Mr. Wang snatched the phone from his daughter's hand and hung it up, preventing his daughter from calling the police. "Dad, what are you doing? Why did you snatch my phone? I want to call the police. Those people had guns just now." Wang Xinyu said anxiously, "Do you know how dangerous those people are? We need the police's help, Dad. Hurry up and give me the phone." Mr. Wang shook his head and said seriously to his daughter, "Xinyu, since you know how dangerous those people are, then we can't call the police. You know that those people have guns. We can't afford to offend them. We really can't afford to offend them. Sinew, Dad is begging you, don't make trouble for yourself. Also, you have to stay away from that Su Yun. He is definitely a dangerous person. He even provoked people with guns. We can't afford to offend him. How long do you have left in your contract with Sky Entertainment? When the time is up, we will terminate the contract. Dad, what are you talking about? Wang Xinyu was confused. Brother Su Yun is not the kind of person you think he is. Also, my contract with Sky Entertainment still has a few years left. If I want to terminate the contract, I will have to pay tens of millions. How can I pay? Besides, what does this have to do with me terminating the contract? Mr. Wang took a deep breath. No, I have to think of a way. Since they offended someone they can't afford to offend, you can't stay in Sky Entertainment anymore. Wang Xinyu was stunned. Dad, do you know something? What do you mean by someone they can't afford to offend? Who did brother Su Yun offend? Do you know? Mr. Wang was stunned. Of course I don't know. But you said it yourself. They had guns. How can we afford to offend people with guns? What else do I need to know? I only know that I don't want my daughter to get hurt because of this mess. That's enough for me. Chapter 585. After leaving Wang Xinyu's house, Su Yun once again secretly returned to Wang Xinyu's villa in the suburbs. When Su Yun returned, the three half-dead guys who had been left at the scene were nowhere to be seen. Obviously, they must have been here again. Su Yun carefully observed the surrounding environment. After confirming that there was no abnormality, he returned to the villa. According to Su Yun's investigation, the three guys had come to the window of the bedroom on the second floor by using a rope to open fire. As Wang Xinyu had been challenging Su Yun's concentration, Su Yun did not notice the footsteps on the roof. Now that he thought about it, it was really dangerous. If it wasn't for Su Yun's sensitivity to the sound of bullets being loaded, the consequences would have been unimaginable. Su Yun could even imagine the headline of the newspaper. It would definitely be something like the goddess of the new generation of otakus hugging a mysterious man and getting shot to death. Just thinking about it made him feel scared. However, if the person who arranged this assassination was really the big boss behind the Viper expedition, how could he find him so quickly? One had to know that even if the big boss behind the scenes knew that his 9 captains had died because of Su Yun, it would still take a certain amount of time to track Su Yun down. Su Yun's mind was in a mess. He really couldn't figure out how these people found him. After thinking about this, Su Yun couldn't help but worry. Although it was the middle of the night, he still dialed Zhua Yeming's number without hesitation. Zhua Yeming was obviously confused by the phone call in the middle of the night. Brother-in-law, what happened? Something urgent? Are you all right? Are you still on Qingdao? Are you guys all right? Su Yun said worriedly. Zhua Yeming was even more confused by Su Yun's strange words. He asked, Brother-in-law, are you all right? You're the one who's calling me in the middle of the night, right? Su Yun heaved a sigh of relief. Good. I'm just reminding you that the people we've messed with in the Xing'an mountain range may not be ordinary, so you must pay attention to your safety. Don't get ambushed, okay? It's getting late, so I won't call you one by one. Just pass on my message. Zhua Yeming frowned. Brother-in-law, did something happen to you? Do you need my help? Nothing much. Su Yun, go to sleep. Good night. After hanging up the phone, Zhua Yeming was not sleepy at all. He knew very well that Su Yun was not the kind of person who would call casually in the middle of the night. Now that he called at this time, it made him feel even more uneasy. On the other hand, Su Yun felt a lot more at ease. Knowing that the others didn't encounter any trouble and that the spearhead was pointed at him, he felt a lot more comfortable. It was already 3:00 in the morning. If it was a weekend, the ghost market in Pan Garden would have been crowded, but now there was probably no one. Even so, Su Yun still drove to Pan Garden without hesitation. He couldn't wait any longer. He didn't know what would happen if he waited any longer. After arriving at Pan Garden, there was no one at all. Only some people in some shops were doing something under the cover of the night. Seeing Su Yun come here at this time, no one paid much attention to him. No customers would come to buy things at this time of the day. Soon, Su Yun walked to the front of Ma Saner's shop. When he left that day, he saw that Ma Saner had installed a small device that integrated real-time monitoring and remote alarm at an inconspicuous place on the door. This meant that Ma Saner could see the monitoring at any time from where he was sleeping. If someone wanted to touch his shop, he would immediately receive the alarm. Su Yun picked up a stone without hesitation and threw it at the small device that integrated real-time monitoring and remote alarm. With a clatter, the high-tech device fell to the ground. Su Yun reached out to catch it and crushed it. Su Yun really couldn't think of a good way to force Ma Saner out at this time, so he could only use this method. After destroying it, Su Yun found a place to hide. About 20 minutes later, Ma Saner rushed to the door of the shop and looked angrily at the destroyed high-tech gadget. Seeing that there was no trace of the shop door being knocked, he could only curse in his heart 100 times. Then, he opened the door and prepared to go in to see if there was any damage. Just as Ma Saner opened the door and entered the shop, Su Yun followed him in and patted him on the shoulder. "Third brother, hee." Ma Saner almost fell out with him on the spot. F***ck. I knew that only you could come up with this rotten idea. Su Yun, your grandfather. Don't talk about calling me third brother, even if you call me third master today, I won't agree. When Su Yun heard Ma Saner's high-spirited words, he stared at Ma Saner without saying a word. The smile on his face disappeared. After staring at him for more than 10 seconds, Ma Saner began to feel goosebumps all over his body. Without waiting for Su Yun to speak, he waved his hand and said to himself, "If you have something to say, just say it. Who are you being so serious for? Ma Saner, I realize that you are different from ordinary people. Ordinary people are amenable to coaxing but not coercion. You are the opposite." Su Yun said, "Whenever I call you Sangur, you always have a stinky face. When I insist on scolding you for mingling with Ma Saner, you are laughing and haha and greeting me with a smiling face. Tell me, aren't you asking for trouble?" Even though Su Yun said this, Ma Saner was not anxious. As if nothing had happened, he asked in a neutral tone, "Why are you looking for me? What do you want to know? You don't have to be like this. Do you know how much my surveillance equipment costs? It's very expensive. Stop talking nonsense. If I didn't do this, would you come? Su Yun, if you weren't worried about the treasures in your shop, would you rush over in a hurry? Even if you saw me on the surveillance camera, you would wait until the weekend to come, right? That's also to sell some goods in the ghost city and to solve my problem on the way. You're not being honest. Our many years of friendship can't be called friendship?" Ma Saner glared at him. He was in the right now. Su Yun rolled his eyes at him. "All right, who doesn't know that you, Ma Saner, are a master who recognizes money and not people?" Ma Saner bent his waist and said, "Do you have any conscience? How many times have you asked me? How many times have you drunk my good tea? Have I ever asked you for money? You're the stingy one. Every time you come to take advantage of me, damn." Su Yun proudly said, "That's because my fist is harder than yours. Otherwise, you wouldn't have obediently given in. Less nonsense, make the tea. Otherwise, Lousy will randomly pick something from your shop and take it away. If you have the ability to not let me take it away, then come and try to snatch it." Ma Saner had no choice but to obediently make the tea. When the tea was ready, Su Yun opened his mouth and asked, "I want to ask you something about cultivation inheritance." Ma Saner was after all the successor of Zhonghu's all-knowing man. Of course he had some special skills. As soon as he heard Su Yun's question, he laughed. "You want to ask about Zhong Taisui's cultivation inheritance? This is really a bit interesting. Let me tell you the difference between cultivation inheritance and personal cultivation." Su Yun glared. "Less nonsense, get to the point." "All right, then get to the point. I know Zhong Taisui's main successor is the white-lipped bamboo leaf Qing's Wei, and the cultivation inheritance she received is quite rich, so much so that she now has the strength of a supermaster. But speaking of the state of mind, she is still hovering between a first-rate 9th rank and a supermaster. Ma Sana said, "This is a very dangerous sign. If Zhua Meiyan's state of mind is unable to break through, the gap between her strength and her state of mind will grow bigger and bigger. When her strength reaches the point where she can't control her state of mind, her life will be in danger." Su Yun held the teacup but did not drink. "Then what should we do?" Ma Sana raised his eyebrows. "This has something to do with her physique. She needs a man to break through the barrier of her being a girl. Although it sounds ridiculous, it is the only way for her to break through her state of mind." After getting the answer from Ma San, Su Yun really believed it completely. Hey, what? Do you need my help with this?" Ma San stirred up trouble. Su Yun raised his hand to threaten. "Do you believe that I will slap you so hard that even your master can't recognize you?" All right, I am scared of you." Ma San hurriedly said, "I really can't do this. If you want to do it, then you do it. Some things are predestined. Kid, you have a lot of luck with women, we can't compare to you. Ha, you experienced the baptism of the 10 heavenly palaces on your virgin night. The next one should be facing the 9 winding corridors, but whether it will be Zhua Meiyan or not, I am not sure." F***CK. What 9 winding corridors? 10 heavenly palaces? Su Yun froze for a moment, but Ma San used his eyes to tell him, "You know." Since there was no other way to solve Zhua Meiyan's matter, Su Yun did not think about it anymore. But he was interested in the matter of the big boss behind the Viper expedition. "Ma San, today I came to find you. There is another very important matter." "Speak." Ma San said, "I knew you wouldn't trouble me just because of a woman's trivial matter." "It was about the boss behind the Viper expedition." "Su Yun, I want to know who that person is." Ma San did not open his mouth this time, nor did he continue to laugh. "Su Yun, why are you looking for that person? Don't make trouble for yourself. Today you ask this. Obviously you have solved the problem you wanted to solve. How many of the leaders of the Viper expedition did you deal with? I know you are very powerful, you are very strong, but I still don't want you to get into so much trouble. Moreover, I don't want to get involved in this matter, because I don't want to get myself into trouble. So don't waste your time with me." Su Yun nodded. "I know what you mean. If you really don't want to say, I won't force you. But now I am very surprised. How did they know my whereabouts so quickly? They could find me the moment I arrived in Beijing. I don't believe there is such a powerful organization." Ma San was also stunned. "That is a bit exaggerated, I don't believe it either. Why are you so sure that they know your whereabouts?" 2 hours ago, someone wanted to assassinate me." Su Yun said casually, "So I'm sure I've been targeted, and my location has been accurately located. They could even accurately find a remote place in the suburbs." Ma San sucked in a breath of cold air. "This is too strange. Did someone know where you went?" "They knew where you were through others." "Otherwise, it shouldn't be so exaggerated, right? What were you doing in the suburbs? Alone? Or with others? Could it be that someone was with you and exposed your whereabouts?" "Others?" Su Yun was stunned. "Wang Xinyu? Impossible. How could Wang Xinyu have anything to do with that company and the mysterious boss? Moreover, the people who appeared today did not have any mercy when they attacked them. They were ready to shoot both of them to death." Chapter 586. This was indeed a huge question. Ever since Su Yun left the police station and parted ways with Lin Gur and Wu Yuandong, he had been with Wang Xinyu. Along the way, they had only met a group of paparazzi who relied on secretly taking photos for a living. After that, they had met Fu Tian and the rest of the rich young masters. Other than that, they had not seen anyone else. If Su Yun had to suspect something, it could only be because of Fu Tian and the others. Maybe Bao Qinghua, who was killed by Liu Bei in the snowy forest of the Pakal clan in Xing and Mountain, knew someone from Fu Tian's group or had a good relationship with them. Even if this guess was true, these people couldn't know about Su Yun's identity, right? Soon, Su Yun overturned his guess. Even if Bao Qinghua knew Fu Tian and the others, it was impossible for him to know about Bao Qinghua's family's secret. This definitely had nothing to do with those guys. The paparazzi were even less suspicious. In such a big city like Yanjing, doing this kind of thing could only mean that they weren't doing well. Moreover, after he left Erliton with Wang Xinyu, he didn't get out of the car. If there was anyone who knew that he went to Wang Xinyu's villa in the suburbs, it was only this car. Was there something wrong with the car? That wasn't realistic. Ever since the Zhang brothers drove to Yanjing, this car had been parked in the hotel's basement. Even so, Su Yun still did a thorough check. There was no eavesdropping or positioning device in the car. I say, Su Yun, is your brain blinded by something? Ma San'er couldn't help but say, are you still Yen Long? Do you have to go through so much trouble for such a small thing? During the whole process, didn't you suspect the most suspicious person? Su Yun glanced at Ma San'er. Don't talk nonsense with me. Why would I suspect Wang Xinyu? She didn't take the initiative to approach me. It was because Sky Entertainment called her to come to the police station to get me. That's why she came to find me. Moreover, those assassins didn't show any mercy when they attacked her. They wanted to kill all of us. Ma San'er scratched his head and said, tell me this is not the case, and that is not the case. Besides you and Wang Xinyu, is there no third person who knows that you went to that place with her? No. As soon as Su Yun spoke, he froze. Throughout the entire process, he seemed to have left one person behind, and that was Wang Xinyu's father, Lawyer Wang. Wang Xinyu had called her father and told him that she and Su Yun were in the villa. She told him not to worry. This was the only thing Su Yun had missed. If this matter really had something to do with Lawyer Wang, then it would be a little too scary. What did he think of? Ma San'er saw Su Yun's expression change, and knew that Su Yun had finally realized something. If you think of anything, come ask me. Don't waste my time here. If those people really have their eyes on you, then don't keep coming to my place. When the time comes, you can just pat your ass and leave. I don't want your trouble to burn me. Go do whatever you need to do, I won't see you out. Su Yun really didn't have time to bicker with Ma San'er. He got up and drove away. Seeing Su Yun drive away, Ma San'er finally let out a sigh of relief. The thing he was most afraid of in life was trouble, and every time Su Yun came, he would bring him trouble. Now that this trouble was finally far away, he could finally breathe comfortably. What a waste of his expensive surveillance equipment. Damn that guy. The next time he comes, I'll definitely make him pay for it. Ma San'er snorted in his heart. He then cleaned up the tea table, quickly closed the door, and left Pan Garden. The sky was gradually brightening. Su Yun drove all the way to the suburban villa where the incident happened yesterday. He had to confirm something first. Su Yun, who had been here twice, was very familiar with the road. Just as he was about to reach his destination, he felt a bad premonition. This premonition made Su Yun stop the car carefully. The feeling of an ambush in front of him made Su Yun very unhappy. It seemed that the people he had offended this time were really serious. Su Yun didn't continue driving. Instead, he parked the car in a hidden place, then got out of the car and walked forward on foot. Su Yun was very careful along the way. Finally, he stopped at the place where he could see the villa last night. There was no need to check the front anymore. The incident had happened for so long, but there was still no sign of the police coming to investigate. This matter was really a bit strange. A normal person would definitely call the police first. Su Yun believed that Wang Xinyu's father, Lawyer Wang, was a person who understood the law. He would never not call the police because it might bring trouble to Su Yun. This was not in line with common sense. A normal person would definitely inform the police first, but Lawyer Wang didn't do so. As the third person who knew Su Yun was in the villa yesterday, and made such an abnormal choice, Su Yun had no reason to not suspect him. When Su Yun returned to Wang Xinyu's house this morning, he still didn't see any trace of the police. With heavy steps, Su Yun came to Wang Xinyu's house and knocked on the door. The person who opened the door was none other than Lawyer Wang. When he saw Su Yun again, Lawyer Wong looked a little flustered. He even had an impulse to shut the guest out. But Su Yun didn't give him a chance to refuse. Instead, he walked in directly. Seeing Su Yun come, Wang Xinyu was naturally very excited. But she still hadn't forgotten the frightening scene last night. "Brother Su Yun, where did you go? I was so worried. Come in and have breakfast with us." Su Yun smiled slightly. "Then I won't stand on ceremony." At this time, Mother Wang also came out of the kitchen. Seeing that there was a guest, she was very polite. The most discordant person in the whole house was actually Lawyer Wang. After opening the door, he stood in one place for a long time without moving half a step. Finally, he couldn't hold it in any longer and grabbed Su Yun's arm. "CEO Su. Hello, I have something to talk to you about in private. It's about my daughter's safety and the contract my daughter signed with your company." Hearing her father say this, Wang Xinyu became anxious. "Dad, what nonsense are you talking about? What happened last night has nothing to do with him. Also, the contract is my own business. I have my own rights. No one can interfere with my freedom of action. Don't interfere with my business." "Then do you know that you almost lost your life?" Lawyer Wang was so angry that he couldn't help but tremble slightly. Su Yun smiled faintly and said slowly, "Lawyer Wang, it just so happens that I have something to talk to you about. Let's talk alone, shall we?" "Brother Su Yun." Wang Xinyu looked at Su Yun with a blank face. She really didn't understand what they wanted to talk about. "Is there something you can't talk about here?" This time, Lawyer Wang stood beside his daughter and said, "Yes, let's talk here. I also want to ask you something in front of my daughter." "That's good." Su Yun said, "Lawyer Wang, since you knew that such a big thing had happened, and it even endangered Wang Xinyu's life and safety, why didn't you call the police at the first moment? Why didn't you arrest me at the first moment, or transfer me, the guy you thought was suspicious, to the police? Why didn't you contact the police until now?" As a lawyer, this kind of behavior was definitely abnormal. When Wang Xinyu and Mother Wang heard this, they couldn't help but frown. They were used to obeying the decisions of the head of the family, so they didn't think too much about it. Today, when Su Yun said this, they also felt that something was wrong. Lawyer Wang's expression became more and more nervous. Finally, he opened the door and stepped out of the room before Su Yun. "If you have something to say, come out and talk to me alone. I don't want to affect my family." Su Yun didn't hesitate and followed Lawyer Wang out. Originally, Wang Xinyu wanted to chase after them, but she was stopped by the two men at the same time. They told her to stay at home obediently. Although she didn't know what happened, Wang Xinyu still obediently returned to her room. After Su Yun and Lawyer Wang went downstairs, he said bluntly, "Did what happened last night have anything to do with you?" "Su Yun, I'm begging you. Can you let my daughter go, let my family go?" Lawyer Wang suddenly became emotional. "We are just ordinary people. I don't want the family I want to protect to have anything to do with people like you. You don't have a daughter. You don't understand what a father is feeling right now." "But the danger your daughter encountered was not caused by me, but by you. Do you know?" Su Yun also said without any trace of politeness, "Now I'll get straight to the point. I've never dared to believe that you're actually related to that big boss hiding in the dark. Tell me, who is he?" "He's the murderer who almost killed your daughter." Lawyer Wang sneered. "Let me tell you, unless I want to sacrifice my family's life." "Su Yun, maybe you think there's no one you can't offend, but please don't think that everyone is like you. We don't dare to offend people you dare to offend. You don't have anything to worry about, but I'm different. I have a wife and a child. Why do you want to harm us?" Su Yun could understand a father's feelings. If Guagua was in danger now, he would definitely have the same thoughts as Lawyer Wang. No matter what, he had to ensure his daughter's safety. "Lawyer Wang, because you are Wang Xinyu's father, I won't make things difficult for you." "Su Yun, but what I want to tell you is that the person in danger is not me, but that big boss. I will leave right now. Even if I leave, I think that big boss will make things difficult for you because he didn't kill me. If you don't want your daughter to be implicated, then let her leave Beijing as soon as possible. The sooner the better. Lawyer Wang was stunned. He agreed with Su Yun's words. The big boss would definitely look for him again. I know very well who leaked my whereabouts yesterday. Su Yun, I can forgive a person once, but I definitely won't forgive him a second time. You're on your own. Also, I hope you can listen to my advice and let Wang Xinyu leave as soon as possible. Don't harm your daughter because of your momentary confusion. Lawyer Wang knew that there was not much time left, so he quickly ran upstairs. Su Yun was right. He had to hurry up and let his daughter leave because the big boss already knew that his daughter was acquainted with Su Yun. When the time came, it would definitely make things difficult for her. Also, let me say something to my dad. I believe that he will see it. If I say these words to his face, he will definitely get angry. I can only do this. Since you have a granddaughter, you should drink less. After drinking, you will keep throwing tantrums, and you won't even realize it. If you don't want the next generation to be alienated from you because of this hobby of yours, then you should understand other people's feelings. Don't always think that others should understand that you are tired. If they understand, then you can drink some. We understand you, but please also understand how annoying we are. Is it really that difficult to drink less than half a glass? How difficult is it? There are people who have successfully detoxified. Why is it so difficult to just ask you to drink less? My mother-in-law is still at home helping to take care of the children. If you talk so much after drinking, what will she think? Where will she put her face? Chapter 587. Su Yun didn't argue with the person who betrayed him. Lawyer Wang loved his daughter and family very much. He must have his reasons for doing this. Moreover, he definitely didn't want his daughter's life to be threatened. Now, he already knew how vicious the big boss was and that he almost did something to hurt his daughter. Su Yun was sure that he wouldn't do anything to hurt his daughter again. Now, he should also leave Yanjing. Only then could he temporarily avoid the big boss behind the scenes. After all, the big boss was in the dark while he was in the light. If he insisted on forcing Lawyer Wang to tell him who the big boss behind the scenes was, he was worried that he would bring trouble to Wang Xinyu's family. Therefore, he didn't ask any more. Because Su Yun believed that the big boss wouldn't let him go so easily. He would definitely have a chance to follow the vine to get to the melon. The current forbearance was only temporary. Besides, he should go back to Shenzhen to take a look. The school holidays were getting closer and closer. Guagua and Bu Fifan would spend the winter holidays in the same home. Although the age difference between the two children wasn't small, he was still worried that there would be a conflict between them. After all, they had different childhoods from ordinary children. Neither of them was easy to deal with. Especially Guagua. If this guy turned from guest to host, Bu Fifan would definitely find it hard to accept. This would easily lead to conflicts and conflicts. In any case, as Feng Guagua's godfather, Su Yun also promised Feng Guagua that he would be Bu Fifan's guardian. He had to solve the problem that he was worried about. He couldn't throw this problem to Ruan Qingshuang. Ruan Qingshuang had done enough for him. Su Yun really didn't want to trouble her anymore. Moreover, Ruan Qingshuang had taken over Xinkai Hotel for a while now. Su Yun hadn't been there yet. He really didn't know if she could handle this hotel. Would the original middle management of the hotel give her face? Would they make things difficult for her? However, what worried Su Yun the most was what Lin Gu had told him before he went to Xing and Mountain. Gu Zueran had warned him to be careful of the people in Shan River. In the beginning, Su Yun didn't want to believe this strange warning. Although Gu Zueran was said to be a divine mathematician, his failure that time made Su Yun completely unable to trust him. But now, Lawyer Wang's worry for Wang Xinyu made Su Yun feel that he was not a good father. How could he be so relaxed when facing Gu Zueran's warning? This wasn't a groundless rumor. At least, the matter of Guagua's identity hadn't been completely resolved yet. Su Yun really shouldn't have been so careless as to leave Guagua so far behind. Although Cho Yun was studying with Guagua, if she really encountered a supermaster, it would be difficult for Cho Yun to defend herself with her current strength. Even if Cho Yun could break through the bottleneck of her state of mind, it would be difficult for her to defend herself against the attack of any supermaster. Yanjing was the imperial city of Huaxia since ancient times. In this city, there was no lack of capable people from all over Huaxia. Whether they were black-bellied and ruthless or sanctimonious, people who could finally occupy a place in Yanjing would always be respected by ordinary people. No one would care about how they got today's achievements. No one would care what kind of methods they used or what kind of opportunities they encountered. As long as they were successful, they would be respected in front of ordinary people and flattered in front of their subordinates. Every building in Yanjing had its owner. These people were often big bosses hidden in the world that ordinary people couldn't see. To be able to greet people of this level, one must have very outstanding achievements in a certain field. Otherwise, how could one get the appreciation of these big bosses? Lawyer Wang was able to gain a foothold in Yanjing by relying on his reputation in the legal circle. The name Must-Win Law Firm wasn't casually given. As the most famous law firm in Yanjing and even the entire Huaxia, of course, it wouldn't lack the patronage of all kinds of big bosses. To be able to achieve great things, who didn't have a few lawsuits? If one didn't want to suffer losses in these lawsuits, or make a profit, one must have a lawyer with real ability. Although lawyers weren't eloquent lawyers like in ancient times, but practitioners who had obtained a lawyer's practice certificate according to law and accepted entrustment or appointment to provide legal services for clients. Moreover, they had the necessary legal expertise to provide legal services and were protected and managed by the state. However, society was a big dive. A small number of people would naturally use their professional knowledge and the teaching of law enforcement in their hands to find loopholes in the law. For money, they would even use their professional skills and glib tongue to exonerate the crimes of the guilty. Lawyer Wang was originally very upright, but in the end, he couldn't resist the temptation of money and walked on the path of this small group of people. Often, this small group of lawyers who had changed their minds were the truly capable ones. When a person could turn black into white, how could he not be valued? Therefore, Lawyer Wang naturally became the object of appreciation of all kinds of big bosses. Mr. Wang's mentality had naturally changed after he spent all his time mingling with the upper class. His mentality had changed even more after his daughter became a nationally renowned female artist. Soon, he became Boss Bao's personal lawyer with a high agent fee because the money that Boss Bao could give him was unrivaled. He no longer needed to deal with other big bosses and didn't need to worry about offending others. Since he received money from others, he had to be loyal to his master, and others couldn't say anything about it. Lawyer Wang had always been loyal to Boss Bao and helped Boss Bao resolve many problems. Therefore, his position in the company was getting higher and higher. Over time, he also knew what the company was doing. At this time, even if Lawyer Wang wanted to retreat, it was impossible. Lawyer Wang knew very well what kind of business the company was really doing under the guise of international trade. He also knew very well how many treasures had been sold overseas by Boss Bao after their value had been speculated by Boss Bao. He had a rough idea of how many priceless things the company had gotten. Lawyer Wang also knew why Boss Bao invited him to Beijing's most luxurious hotel for a meal. When Lawyer Wang walked into the huge private room, Boss Bao, who had been waiting for a long time, smiled and pointed to the seat beside him. "Lawyer Wang, come and have a seat. Today there are no outsiders. Only the two of us can speak our minds. Ha ha ha." In such a huge private room with such a huge table, there were only the two of them. Obviously, Boss Bao didn't really come for a meal and had an ulterior motive. "Boss, if you have something to say, just say it." Lawyer Wang said, "I know that you didn't ask me out for a meal today." Boss Bao was in his 50s, but he had maintained his figure well. He didn't have the aura of a nouveau riche, but the heaven's eye stone on his neck, the Buddha beads on his wrist, and the thumb ring on his thumb were all priceless treasures. Boss Bao smiled and pointed to the table full of delicacies. "Lawyer Wang, if I didn't ask you out for a meal, why would I order such a table full of delicacies?" "Ha ha ha, brother, didn't I tell you before? When there's no one around, don't treat me as your boss. Just treat me as your brother." Looking at the dishes on the table, Lawyer Wong couldn't help but mutter in his heart. Boss Bao's attitude towards him made him feel flattered, but when he thought about Boss Bao's true side, he began to feel uneasy. Boss, I want to know why you did what you did last night. Let me tell you, that person was with my daughter, and you knew that my daughter was also at the scene. Why did you kill him? What if something happened to my daughter? Lawyer Wong couldn't help but clench his teeth as he spoke. Boss Bao smiled. Brother, that's what my subordinates did. I told them to be careful. Who knew that they would do such a thing? But, brother, don't be angry. I've already punished them and sent them to hell to reflect on their actions. Ha ha ha, are you satisfied now? Lawyer Wong couldn't help but tremble. This was the Boss Bao in his eyes. He was ruthless and merciless, and he never left behind any future troubles. I'll arrange for someone to tidy up your villa. Don't worry about that. Boss Bao continued. How could I possibly lay my hands on Sinew? Ha ha ha, you know that I've always liked Sinew. I've also always hoped that Sinew could marry our Qinghua as his wife. After saying that, Boss Bao let out a long sigh. But this is fate. God actually made me, an old man who had been buried in the yellow soil until my waist, to suddenly lose a son. Ha ha ha, he really wants to end my family's bloodline. Lawyer Wong was getting more and more scared, and the atmosphere was getting more and more strange. Brother, we could have become in-laws, but it's all that damned Su Yun's fault. Boss Bao sneered. Brother, tell me, where did that Su Yun and your Sinew go? I know you must know. Don't worry, I won't hurt Sinew. I only want that bastard's life. Lawyer Wong trembled. Boss, I really don't know where that Su Yun went. Sinew didn't go with him. Sinew received a call from the company and went to the set. The director wanted her to read the script. It really has nothing to do with that Su Yun. Brother, you don't believe me, right? Boss Bao shook the wine glass in his hand and stared coldly at the red liquid inside. Boss, please believe me. If I knew, I would definitely inform you. Lawyer Wong said. Since I was able to inform you last night that I found this suspicious person, I will definitely inform you in the future. Boss Bao smiled. Although I don't know why you informed me the first time, I know that you won't tell me the truth in the future, right? Ha ha ha, but if Sinew has nothing to do with that person, why would she sleep on the same bed with that person? Old brother Wong, stop deceiving yourself and others. Don't make me fall out with you. Lawyer Wong shook his head desperately. I really don't know anything. Boss, I beg you to let me go. My daughter is innocent. We really don't know anything. We didn't know that guy was the one who caused trouble for you in Xing Anling. Phew. If you don't tell me, I'll have to ask your daughter. Boss Bao looked up at the ceiling and pointed at the dishes on the table. Lawyer Wong, hurry up and eat. This is probably the best food you can eat in a while. Don't wait until you lose it before you regret it. Ha ha ha. Lawyer Wong's brain buzzed. I beg you, boss, don't hurt my daughter. I won't. I'm just asking. Of course, I won't hurt her. Boss Bao said indifferently. Besides, I've always thought highly of Sinew. She can help us carry on the family line. It's a pity that my son is short-lived. The responsibility of carrying on the family line will fall on me. Haha, Lawyer Wong, I'm afraid I can't call you brother anymore. Should I call you father-in-law? Chapter 588. Su Yun had been on the road for a whole day and finally entered Shenzhong City before dark. The first thing he did was to rush to Xingkai Hotel. Compared to Guagua, who was protected by Chou Yun, Su Yun seemed to be more worried about how Ruan Qingxuang was doing in Xingkai. With Ruan Qingxuang's personality, Su Yun was especially worried that she would be bullied by those bastards. When the car stopped at the main entrance of Xingkai Hotel, the security chief, Pang Yong, walked over immediately. Usually, those who drove to the entrance of the hotel were the hotel's VIP customers. Those who were not VIP customers would not be able to enjoy the parking service. After all, those who visited Shinkai Hotel were all big shots. If they took care of everyone, their security team would be too busy. Just as Pang Yong was about to ask, Su-yun jumped out of the car. While Pang Yong was still in shock, Su-yun looked at him and asked faintly, "Is Ms. Ruan in her office?" Pang Yong hurriedly nodded and bowed. Yes, Mr. Su, why did you suddenly come? You didn't even tell us to welcome you. He, you must be very busy recently, right? If there's anything I can help with, just tell me directly. Don't be polite with me." Oh, this kid was quite sensible. Su-yun couldn't help but smile. He had only taught him a lesson once, and now he had learned to be obedient. Based on his fear in front of Su-yun also believed that they would not dare to be disrespectful to Ruan Qingxuang these days. Fortunately, he had taught them a lesson before he left. Now, Su-yun felt much more relaxed. He threw the car key to Pang Yong. "Park the car for me. Ask the receptionist to send the key to Ms. Ruan's office. When I come, do I need to tell you?" "Yes. I promise to complete the task." "Of course, Mr. Su, you can come at any time. We will welcome you to inspect our work at any time." Pang Yong took the car key and said seriously. Then, he personally drove the car to the special parking space in the basement according to Su-yun's instructions and parked it carefully beside the black Kian. Su-yun took the elevator directly to Ruan Qingxuang's office. Seeing that everything in Shinkai was running smoothly, he couldn't help but admire Ruan Qingxuang's talent in hotel management. From a small medicinal cuisine restaurant in the beginning to the Hadong City Medicinal Restaurant and now to the 5-star Shinkai Hotel. No matter how big the stall was, she was always serious about everything was everything. She could do well. Maybe it was time to ask the brothers in Hadong City to come over and help, Su-yun thought in the elevator. Soon, the elevator arrived at the 6th floor where Ruan Qingxuang's office was located. Su-yun wanted to give Ruan Qingxuang a surprise, so he didn't knock on the door. When he pushed the door open and saw Ruan Qingxuang working at her desk, he felt a little sad. Su-yun directly handed over such a big stall to Ruan Qingxuang to manage. Ruan Qingxuang didn't complain at all. She helped Su-yun do everything without complaint. The sound of Su-yun pushing the door open didn't affect Ruan Qingxuang's concentration. Because she hadn't taken over the hotel for a long time, she had to figure out all the accounts of the hotel. Every penny spent and earned, Ruan Qingxuang would ask the finance department to send a report and check it personally. This undoubtedly increased Ruan Qingxuang's workload and work pressure, but she didn't give up or back down because of this. No matter how complicated the report was, she would look at it seriously and calculate it seriously. Seeing that she didn't respond, Su-yun quietly walked behind her and suddenly reached out to cover Ruan Qingxuang's eyes. Ruan Qingxuang was stunned for a moment, then she said in surprise, "Su-yun. Are you kidding me? How did you know?" Su-yun was really scared. "Sister Shuang, did you see me come in early and deliberately ignored me?" Ruan Qingxuang saw that it was really Su-yun and was wild with joy. "It's really you. Haha, because your palm is very special, I can sense it immediately. Also, the smell on your body is different from others. You want to scare me? I'll see through you." Su-yun looked at his hand and sniffed his collar. "There's nothing different. Do I stink? I take a shower often." "You don't stink." Ruan Qingxuang smiled helplessly. "Why didn't you tell me that you were coming back so suddenly?" "Oh, I know, Guagua must have called you." Ruan Qingxuang looked at the time on her watch. It was already 4:30 in the afternoon. In half an hour, Guagua and the others would be out of school. This time, it would be winter vacation directly. "Did she call you? Is that why you hurried back?" "Actually, if you have your own things, you can finish them first." Su-yun froze for a moment. "Is it winter break today?" "Yes. What do you think?" Ruan Qingxuang said, "It's Chinese New Year in 10 days. The students don't have it easy. It's time to take a break." Su-yun nodded. "Then let's go back first. Prepare some delicious food tonight. I'll introduce a boy to you tonight. We'll be living together for the rest of the time. Ruan Qingshuang looked at the bill on the table with some difficulty. I wanted to go back early today, but the numbers on the account don't add up. I've looked at it several times, but I don't know why a part of the money is missing. A part of the expenses on the food account didn't get the income that it should have. Su Yun picked up the list and glanced at it. Then, he said to Ruan Qingshuang, "Who gave this to you? Can the previous accounts be matched?" "The head of the finance department, Gong Jie, gave it to me." Ruan Qingshuang shook her head and said, "No, I always have something wrong, but I can't figure out what the problem is. I also went to the food and beverage department to check. There's nothing wrong at all." Su Yun took the list and walked out. Ruan Qingshuang was stunned and asked, "What are you going to do?" "Accounting is what the finance department should do. I'm going to ask Gong Shuiyan where the problem is." Su Yun didn't expect that Gong Shuiyan, who always seemed to have no temper, was actually the most scheming. Xingkai Hotel's food and beverage department was involved in a wide range of things. Ruan Qingshuang definitely couldn't figure it out in a short time. As for why Su Yun could see that there was something wrong with the accounts, it was because Su Yun had been to the top floor lounge. That was part of Xingkai Hotel's income, but it was ignored by Ruan Qingshuang. Gong Shuiyan from the finance department didn't open her mouth to remind Ruan Qingshuang. That was why Ruan Qingshuang had been troubled all this time. Su Yun was going to teach this kind of smiling tiger a lesson today. Gong Jie is a good person. Don't get angry with her. Ruan Qingshuang hurriedly said, "Maybe it's my problem." Su Yun was really troubled by Ruan Qingshuang's kindness. "Shuang Jie, not everyone who greets you with a smile is a good person. There is a kind of person in the world who is called a smiling tiger." Ruan Qingshuang was stunned for a moment. She didn't know what Su Yun meant, but she didn't say anything. She just quietly followed behind Su Yun and went directly to the finance department's office. The finance department of Xingkai Hotel was very big. Because it was such a big hotel with hundreds of employees, the finance department was a very important part. Everyone was responsible for their own business, and then they would hand it over to the supervisor, Gong Shuiyan. Finally, Gong Shuiyan would hand it over to Ruan Qingshuang. When Su Yun broke in, more than a dozen people in the finance department were stunned. The voices also disappeared. The clerk of the finance department immediately got up and was about to go to the supervisor's office to inform Gong Shuiyan, but she was stopped by Su Yun. The clerk of the finance department and all the other cashiers watched Su Yun walk to the door of the finance supervisor's office. He unceremoniously kicked the door open. With a bang, the door was kicked open. Gong Shuiyan was talking on the phone in the office. She was startled by the sudden sound. Her phone fell to the ground and the battery came out. As the finance supervisor of Xingkai, she was a middle-level leader with a relatively high status, so she was a little angry. But when she saw that it was Su Yun, who almost fired all of them last time, she couldn't be angry. Su Yun didn't waste time with her. He went straight to the point and threw the financial report in his hand at Gong Shuiyan's face. Gong Shuiyan was stunned. She didn't understand why Su Yun treated her like this. "Gong Shuiyan, I remember that I warned all of you last time when I had a meeting with all the middle-level leaders. Don't play any tricks. Why didn't you listen?" Su Yun said lightly, "Explain to me why there are mistakes in the accounts every day, Mr. Wan." Gong Shuiyan was angry and scared, but she didn't dare to say anything. She whispered, "How would I know? After all, Mr. Wan didn't learn accounting. Don't talk nonsense with me." Su Yun heard that she still wanted to quibble, so he immediately made up his mind to punish her as an example. Maybe there were still people like Gong Shuiyan among the middle-level managers of this hotel who didn't mean what they said. "Pack up your things and get out of here. There will be no more people like you in Xingkai in the future." Gong Shuiyan was a little anxious when she heard that. Why should I leave just because she didn't keep the accounts? Su Yun unceremoniously exposed Gong Shuiyan's little trick. "Where did all the income from the top floor bar go?" "Gong Shuiyan, you don't want me to make it more clear, do you? You put the income of the bar in your pocket every day and confused Mr. Wan." But you secretly put the money back at the end when the company concentrated the savings, so that no one could tell that you did something. I don't know if you temporarily embezzled the hotel's money to finance or to invest in the stock market, but if I tell the police about this, you will be guilty of embezzlement. Gong Shuiyan saw that she was exposed by Su Yun. She was panicked, but she didn't know how to quibble. She was completely dumbfounded. You can go to the HR department and resign from Guyu. Su Yun said coldly. Also, don't expect me to give you a salary. The money you embezzled may be higher than your salary. You know what I mean. Mr. Su. I was wrong. Gong Shuiyan finally admitted defeat. I was possessed for a moment. I didn't mean it. And I really didn't embezzle a penny from the hotel. I just borrowed it temporarily. I beg you, forgive me. Su Yun pointed to the office door and said, I already gave you a chance last time, so none of you have a second chance. Gong Shuiyan, you can think about it. Even if the person here today wasn't me, but Yi Fala, you would still be fired. Don't make me talk nonsense. If you don't leave, I will ask Pang Yong to bring the security department to kick you out. At that time, you will be the one who loses face. Gong Shuiyan gave up. She glared at Su Yun fiercely. Fine, you win. Su Yun, I, Gong Shuiyan, don't believe that I can't survive after leaving Xing Kai Hotel. Let me tell you, with my ability, I can make a living in any company. I know a lot of Xing Kai's business secrets. You can try and see if I dare to say it out. Su Yun smiled slightly. Then you can try. If everyone in Shenzhen knows that you embezzled public funds when you were the manager of Xing Kai Hotel, who would dare to hire you? So don't threaten me. At that time, you will be the one who loses your source of income. Once the reputation of the finance department is ruined, no one will dare to believe you. Chapter 589. On the way home, Ruan Qingshuang couldn't lift her spirits. She felt that Su Yun didn't have to be so ruthless. He should give the other party another chance. But Su Yun and Ruan Qingshuang had completely different thoughts. He felt that he had given the chance, but some people didn't realize it, so they couldn't blame him. Although Ruan Qingshuang still minded, in the end, she decided to respect Su Yun's decision. Maybe sometimes she should be more ruthless, more decisive, and more decisive. Su Yun didn't mean to blame Ruan Qingshuang. Sister Shuang, I'm worried that you will be at a disadvantage when you communicate with people like this. It's not scary to face villains and villains. It's the hypocrites and smiling tigers that are scary. In the future, you must remember to be ruthless when dealing with hypocrites and smiling tigers. Ruan Qingshuang nodded and agreed to Su Yun's request. She smiled and said to Su Yun, Isn't there an old saying that it's a blessing to be at a disadvantage? The sages told us that karma connects the three worlds. It's a wrong idea for a person to take advantage of others in this world. It's also a wrong idea to think that you've been at a disadvantage. Because in this life, you have to pay back in the next life. In this life, you have to pay back in the next life. Karma connects the three worlds. It doesn't mean that this life is over. If you can see through the past and the future, you will be enlightened. Karma connects the three worlds. Su Yun couldn't help but smile. Sometimes, Ruan Qingshuang's words could always move him because of her kindness. Even though Su Yun was an atheist and didn't believe that people had a next life or even the next life, he still smiled and accepted Ruan Qingshuang's advice. Well, it's a blessing to be at a disadvantage. Soon, the two returned to the villa area where they lived. Su Yun took out his phone and was about to call Qin Waner to ask her to come back early. However, he got a reply that the phone couldn't be reached. Without waiting for Su Yun to ask, Ruan Qingshuang explained, calling Waner? She had switched off her phone. Recently, Shen Jiang was investigating a big case. She was the person in charge of this case. The suspect was from Taiwan Island. He had finally appeared in Shenzhen. Waner said that they had to follow him to the end and find evidence. She turned off her phone after she went to the police station yesterday. She told me that she was with her colleagues and didn't want me to worry. But how can I not worry? Phew, I can't even get through to her phone. I really don't want her to be a police officer anymore. She liked that line of work. Soo-yoon put down his phone. Forget it. Since she has her job, we won't wait for her. Taiwan Island is so far away from Shenzhen. The suspect must have committed a serious crime here. Besides, Taiwan Island is the only place in Huaxia where there are differences between political parties. If the suspect was on Taiwan Island, it wouldn't be so easy to catch him. Now that he's on the mainland, the police in Shenzhen won't let him go. There will be plenty of police. You don't have to worry. Ruan Qingshuang nodded to show that she understood. Then, she went into the kitchen with Soo-yoon to prepare dinner. They hadn't gathered together for many days. Ever since Guagua went to a closed school, Ruan Qingshuang missed her to death. She even regretted sending Guagua to a school that only had holidays once every half a month. Time passed by. It was already 6:30. Cho Yun and Guagua still hadn't returned. What Soo-yoon couldn't understand was that Bu Fifan hadn't returned either. Sister Shuang, you didn't remember their holidays wrongly, did you? Soo-yoon froze for a moment. He felt that something was wrong. If the students were on winter break, they wouldn't be allowed to leave until this late, right? Could it be that there was a night self-study session? Ruan Qingshuang shook her head and said firmly, "That's impossible. I definitely didn't remember their holidays wrongly. Guagua and Cho Yun told me on the phone the day before yesterday. I couldn't have remembered it wrongly." Ruan Qingshuang took out her phone and dialed Cho Yun's number. What made Ruan Qingshuang speechless was that Cho Yun also turned off her phone. What day is it today? Did the world stop using mobile phones? Why is everyone turning off their phones? They didn't come home and couldn't be contacted. This made Ruan Qingshuang a little worried. Soo-yoon had no choice but to call Bu Fifan. This kid answered the phone without hesitation and asked, "What's the matter? Is your school on holiday today?" Soo-yoon said, "Why aren't you home yet?" Bu Fifan froze for a moment before answering, "I have my own personal freedom. Since I'm on holiday, I have the right to choose when I go home and when I don't." Soo-yoon, you didn't think that just because you helped me throw a party once, I would listen to you forever, did you? So you're on holiday. Soo-yoon said lightly. Bu Fifan said so much, but he didn't listen to much. "Since you're on holiday, hurry up and go home. Yifala asked me to be your guardian, so you have to listen to me. You better hurry up, or else I won't be responsible if something happens." Bu Fifan laughed helplessly. "I didn't say you would be responsible. I'm going racing with my friends today. If you don't have anything else, I'll hang up. You're just a 13-year-old kid. Why are you racing? Do you have a driver's license? Go drive an electric car." Soo-yoon was infuriated when he heard this. What kind of children were these days? Each one was harder to discipline than the other. This kind of brat should participate in the metamorphosis and be thrown into a ravine where he couldn't even afford to wear underwear. Let him experience that kind of life. Just take care of your own business. Take care of the hotel that Auntie asked you to take care of. That's what we share. You don't need to be involved in my private life. Bu Fifan's answer was very firm, and he hung up the phone without hesitation. Soo-yoon didn't have any temper with this guy. Now was not the time to worry about Bu Fifan. Soo-yoon could only pray that the kid wouldn't die if he didn't do something stupid. What he was really worried about now was Cho Yun and Guagua. When he called Bu Fifan, all he heard was the sound of cars on the road, which meant that Bu Fifan must have left the school. Even the middle school students had left the school, which meant that the primary school students must be on holiday. Since it was already on holiday, they hadn't seen or contacted anyone. Obviously, Soo-yoon couldn't sit still. At this time, Soo-yoon thought of what Lin Gu had said to him. Gu Zueran had divined that they would be in trouble. Damn it, Soo-yoon cursed in his heart. Did he even need to do that? It was such a simple thing. Guagua had such a big secret. How could there be no trouble? Su Yun regretted that he shouldn't have been so careless. He should have used the fastest time to confirm whether Green Ghost was alive or dead, and whether there was anyone else who knew about Guagua's secret. That way, they wouldn't have gotten into trouble. Su Yun was too careless. He was lucky that no one would know about Guagua's secret. He was lucky that Green Ghost had disappeared for so long and should be dead. Su Yun grabbed the car key and said to Ruan Qingshuang, "I'm going to the school to take a look. You wait at home. If they come back, you must call me immediately. It's been a while since school ended. I'm worried that they might have run into some trouble on the way." Hearing Su Yun's words, Ruan Qingshuang couldn't help but feel nervous. "I want to go with you." "If we all go, what if they come back with no one at home?" "Su Yun, what if it's just Cho Yun's phone that ran out of battery, and Guagua dragged her to eat fried chicken again?" "We can't think too badly about anything. Sister Shuang, just wait patiently. Maybe they'll come back as soon as I leave." Although Ruan Qingshuang was anxious, there was nothing she could do. After watching Su Yun leave, she didn't have the mood to continue cooking. She kept pacing around the living room, praying that Guagua and Cho Yun would come home soon. The feeling of waiting was very uncomfortable. At this moment, Ruan Qingshuang felt like she was sitting on pins and needles. Any movement caused by a passing car outside would make her feel excited, but every time, it would end in disappointment. Su Yun drove to Guagua's school as fast as he could. Because it was winter vacation, the school seemed a lot quieter than usual. When Su Yun drove the car to the school gate, he was immediately stopped by the security guard. "Who are you looking for?" After seeing the luxury car, the security guard's attitude was very good. The school is on holiday, and the teachers have all left. Su Yun directly took out a pack of cigarettes and threw it to the security guard. "Brother, I can't find the child. Go into the school and look for her." The security guard heard Su Yun's anxious voice and immediately opened the electric door. Su Yun stepped on the accelerator and rushed into the school. The security guard followed behind his car and ran all the way. It was rare for someone so rich to be so polite to the security guard and give him such a good pack of cigarettes. The security guard was grateful and of course volunteered to help Su Yun find the child in the school. Su Yun drove into the school. The whole teaching building was empty, and so was the dormitory. This made him completely nervous. Where did Guagua and Cho Yun go? He had told Ruan Qingshuang before that Cho Yun might have taken Guagua to eat fried chicken, but he knew very well that this lie could not fool himself. Cho Yun would not do such a worrisome thing, and Guagua had not seen them for a long time. She would definitely want to see them as soon as possible instead of eating fried chicken. Even if the fried chicken and beer were selling like hotcakes now, Guagua would definitely choose to see them as soon as possible if she had to choose between seeing them and eating fried chicken. Then, they would all eat fried chicken and drink beer together and discuss which planet Professor Du came from. The security guard trotted all the way and finally caught up with Su Yun. He gasped and said, "Huff, huff. The students must have left now. At most, there are a few leaders in the office building. If you really can't, you can ask them." What was the use of asking them? The leaders usually squatted in the office building and drank tea. How could they see what happened outside? Compared to asking the leaders, Su Yun felt that this security guard had seen more. "Have you seen a tall girl in her 20s with a 6 or 7-year-old girl?" "About this tall," Su Yun said while gesturing. The security guard was stunned for a moment. He touched his chin and thought, "Is the little girl you are talking about called Feng Guagua? The tall girl is very cold and elegant. Is she her sister? Is she here to accompany her to study?" This time, it was Su Yun's turn to be surprised. "You know them?" Chapter 590. Su Yun didn't have time to listen to him. He hurriedly said, "Brother, do you know where they went? Isn't the school on holiday? Where did they go after school? Are they with anyone?" At this time, the security guard looked at Su Yun with some vigilance and said, "Who are you to Guagua?" "I'm her father." Su Yun was anxious. Seeing that the security guard knew the whereabouts of Guagua and Cho Yun, He was like a drowning man who grabbed the last life-saving straw by the lake. He hurriedly took out all the money in his pocket and handed it to the security guard. Please tell me where they went. Guagua and her sister didn't go home after leaving school. The security guard held his breath and didn't take the money that Su Yun handed out through the window. He looked at Su Yun for a long time and raised a big doubt. Are you Feng Guagua's father? How old are you? Don't tell me you want a child when you're still a minor. Are you kidding me, little brother? I heard that Guagua and that tall girl are sisters. Her sister is about the same age as you, right? Su Yun really didn't know how to explain, so he simply didn't explain. Brother, I'm not Guagua's father. She's my goddaughter. Tell me where she is. I'm worried that she's in danger. Guagua is already very pitiful that she doesn't have parents. I'm her godfather, so I have to be responsible for her. The security guard was happy when he heard this. Ha ha ha, come on brother. What are you thinking? Let me tell you, you'd better not have any ideas about Feng Guagua. All the teachers and students in our school like this little girl very much. You said she doesn't have parents? Humph, if I wasn't on duty this afternoon after school, I might have been fooled by you. But unfortunately, I was on duty this afternoon after school. Guagua and her sister were picked up by her father, and her father is very rich. He sent someone to drive an RV. Su Yun's brain buzzed. What the hell was going on? Don't think that you can do anything with a Kian. I'm a security guard, I'm proud, and I have a backbone. He would never be bribed by a pack of cigarettes. As he spoke, the security guard threw the pack of cigarettes that Su Yun had thrown to him through the car window. Don't even think about doing anything wrong, even if you're rich. I'll let you off this time, but if you think about the school hitting on Feng Guagua again, don't blame me for being rude to you. You're not welcome here. Guagua was taken away by her father? Su Yun stared at the security guard with wide eyes and said, That man can't be Guagua's father. She is in danger now. Tell me where she went. Those people must have lured her away. Hurry up and tell me where they took her. At this time, Su Yun clearly began to feel restless. When the security guard heard Su Yun's anger, he naturally didn't want to be outdone. The little girl admitted to me that her father came to pick her up to play. Humph, she told me herself when I asked her. Seeing is believing. Do you think I'm stupid enough to believe the words of a strange young man? If the other party is a human trafficker, they can deceive a 6 or 7-year-old girl, but it's impossible to deceive her 20-year-old sister, right? What a coincidence. The little girl had a few words with me before she left. How is it possible? Guagua admitted that her father came to pick her up. Cho Yun also went with them? Didn't Guagua's father pass away many years ago? Did she really see a ghost? This is absolutely impossible. Su Yun had always been a believer in ghosts and gods, so he was sure that there must be a reason for this. Su Yun had no clue who was behind this, but he was sure that Cho Yun and Guagua were in danger. He was facing a super troublesome challenge, and this super troublesome problem made him have no clue at all. Impossible. Guagua has promised me that she will go to the South China Sea with me for a vacation after the holidays. How can she leave with someone else? That person must be a liar. Su Yun said firmly, Brother, I beg you to believe me. I'm definitely not a bad person. I can leave my car and all my documents here. Please tell me what Guagua said to you before she left. Su Yun believed in Guagua's intelligence. Just now, the security guard said that before Guagua left, she talked to him for a while. Perhaps the clue was here. Guagua wouldn't chat with him for no reason. If Guagua really saw someone she knew, and if she really saw her father, how could she have the time to chat with the security guard? Don't waste your breath. Why would I say so much to a stranger like you? The security guard said, Since you can't prove the relationship between Guagua and you, then don't blame me for keeping my mouth shut. Su Yun really had no choice. He opened the door and got out of the car. He said sorry in a low voice, and then suddenly subdued the security guard quickly. He directly put the security guard's finger on the car door and said, I'll only give you one chance. Tell me what Guagua said to you. If you don't say it, I'll break your finger. I'll count to 10. The security guard was panicked by this situation. Because the school was on holiday, there were only 2 security guards on duty in the whole school. He followed along, and the other colleague was still in the security room at the school gate. He couldn't see him at all, and couldn't hear his call for help. Let go. You're breaking the law. Do you know the law? The security guard struggled hard and shouted, but he was surprised to find that this young man's strength was too amazing. He was a strong man who insisted on exercising every day, but he couldn't break free at all. Su Yun said calmly, I don't have time to talk about the law with you now. 1, 2, 3. Hearing Su Yun start to count, the security guard struggled harder. He felt an indescribable strength from Su Yun. He believed that this guy was definitely not scaring him. If he didn't say it, he would really slam the car door and break his finger. Su Yun's counting speed was not fast or slow, but it was very balanced. 7, 8, 9. I'll talk. In the end, the security guard chose to compromise because he knew that there was not only one person who took Guagua away. There were many people, and he believed that those people were the bodyguards of the little girl Guagua's father. They must have some skills. Even if this guy went alone to find trouble, he might not be able to gain any advantage. Su Yun, who was about to slam the car door angrily, relaxed his hand and looked at the security guard seriously. If this guy was lying, he could read it in his eyes. When she left, she told me that her father was going to take her to the Dongzhuang coast, have a big meal there, and then take a boat out to sea. The security guard said, This is what Feng Guagua told me. I'm warning you, Feng Guagua's family is not a small family. You'd better not cause trouble for yourself. Su Yun did not see absent-mindedness in his eyes, so he was sure that the security guard was not lying. And this was also reasonable. The Dongzhuang coast could directly go out to sea. If someone really wanted to take Guagua away, it was not an exaggeration for them to make this choice. As long as the boat was on the high seas, it would be impossible to be caught. Time was tight. Su Yun did not have time to waste any more time. He let go of the security guard and said seriously, Security brother, I'm really sorry about what happened just now. There was a reason, I hope you don't mind. When I have time, I will thank you properly. After that, Su Yun directly got into the car and rushed out of the school. He drove crazily along the road to the Dongzhuang coast. No matter what, he had to make a last effort. If he could not catch up with them this time, it would be more difficult to find them in the future. The security guard, who was released by Su Yun, quickly took out his mobile phone from his pocket and recorded Su Yun's license plate number. Then, he was ready to call the police, but he carefully thought about what Su Yun said before he left. This guy did not look like a bad guy, but why did he do that? Did he really blame him wrongly? The security guard was confused. Forget it, he did not have to worry so much. Anyway, he believed that God would not let such a cute little girl and such a beautiful girl suffer. There must be some misunderstanding between them. Forget it, he was just a security guard. He was responsible for his own job, and other things outside of his job were not so much to care about. Su Yun sped along the road to the Dongzhuang coast. It was easy to recognize a caravan. Although there were many cars, luxury cars, and sports cars, caravans were not so common that they could be found all over the streets. Su Yun believed that if they had not left yet, he would definitely be able to find them. According to the message left by Guagua, Su Yun could be sure that they would leave after dinner. This gave Su Yun complete confidence. Once they were on the high seas, it was not a matter of 1 or 2 days. The taste of food on the ship was definitely not as good as on land. It was inevitable to have a good meal before leaving. Soon, Su Yun found the largest restaurant near the Dongzhuang coast. At a glance, he also saw a white GMC Savannah caravan parked in front of the restaurant. Whether it was his intuition or his seventh sense, Su Yun was instantly certain that this car was related to Guagua. With a beautiful slide, Su Yun parked his car directly behind the white Savannah caravan, completely blocking the car's path of departure. Just as Su Yun got out of the car, 2 people jumped out of the Savannah caravan's cockpit. They pointed at Su Yun and shouted, Do you know how to drive? What are you doing? There's a parking space there, why are you randomly parking? Even if you randomly park, you shouldn't block other people's path. Su-yun did not say anything and walked straight towards the two people. His eyes were cold as he asked, "Did you guys go to the school and take her away?" The two people obviously used their actions to admit the fact that they went to the school to take her away. When they heard Su-yun's words, their faces instantly turned cold. They did not hesitate to get into a fighting stance. The person on the left even threw a punch at Su-yun's face without saying anything. Su-yun reflexively grabbed the incoming punch and twisted the joint outwards, instantly breaking the opponent's wrist. From the strength of the opponent's punch, it could be seen that he was at least at the level of a second-rate master. However, a second-rate master was nothing in Su-yun's eyes. He kicked the first person and sent him flying into the car behind him. When the person on the right saw how strong Su-yun was, he felt a little guilty. However, he had nowhere to run and could only try to sneak attack. When Su-yun sent the first person flying with a kick, he suddenly pounced on him from behind. However, Su-yun's speed was shockingly fast. When the second person pounced on him from behind, he suddenly turned around and raised his arm to meet the person who pounced on him. He unceremoniously grabbed the person's face and rushed forward 2 steps, violently slamming the person's head into the window of the Savannah caravan. Chapter 591. No matter what kind of expert he was, his head was still made of flesh. The glass of the RV had been modified to be bulletproof, but Su-yun still brutally smashed the guy's head into pieces, and the guy immediately fainted. The other party finally realized how powerful Su-yun was. The guy who was sent flying by Su-yun quickly took out his phone to call for help. However, before this guy could even dial his number, his phone was kicked away by Su-yun. It fell far away to the side, and the screen and body were all smashed. Su-yun showed no mercy. He grabbed the man by the throat and lifted him up, asking coldly, "Which room did they eat in?" I don't know." That person still wanted to quibble, but he immediately felt Su-yun's strong fingers tighten around his neck. Originally, it was only difficult for him to speak, but now, even breathing became more and more difficult. Su-yun didn't say anything. He just looked at the guy in front of him who couldn't breathe. Finally, that fellow understood that his fate was no longer in his own hands. If he continued to be in a deadlock, his neck would be ruthlessly snapped by the other party. Before he could open his mouth to speak, he had no choice but to tell the truth. Third floor, private room, private room, name. Shangri Chong. When he finished his last word, the manager of the hotel hurriedly rushed out after noticing that something was wrong. The moment the manager came out, Su-yun viciously smashed his head against the bulletproof glass of the limousine just like what he did to the previous guy. Of course, this fellow also suffered the same fate. He directly fainted. "Oh my God!" Seeing this, the hotel lobby supervisor exclaimed and wanted to run back to call the police. However, before he could run a few steps, Su-yun caught up with him and grabbed the back of his collar. The lobby supervisor's face instantly changed and he exclaimed, I didn't see anything. I really didn't see anything. I'm just a passerby." Su-yun didn't have time to talk nonsense with him. He went straight to the point. "Take me to the Shangri Chong room on the 3rd floor. I really didn't see anything. I beg you to let me go. I don't want to get involved in your underworld fights. I beg you, boss. Let me go. I have a 70-year-old mother and 3-year-old children. My family of 7 is counting on me, a strong laborer, to earn money to support them." The hotel lobby manager complained as he begged. "If you don't want your family of 7 to starve, then obediently take me up there." Su-yun said coldly, "Otherwise, I'll make you end up like those 2 guys." The lobby manager nodded vigorously. "Boss, I'll listen to you. I'll do whatever you say. I'll do whatever you say. I'll take you there, but please don't hurt me. Please, I'm really begging you. We're a private hotel, and the boss didn't buy industrial injury insurance for us. Soo-yoon pushed the talkative lobby supervisor into the hotel. The staff in the hotel saw something wrong with the lobby supervisor, but no one asked. Usually, this guy always flaunted his power in front of the staff because he was the lobby supervisor. Therefore, not many people liked him. The lobby supervisor now wished that someone would come up to stop them and ask him. Then, he would have a chance to run away. However, no one looked at him directly. They all did what they were supposed to do. This fiendish guy was standing right beside him. He didn't dare to open his mouth and say anything. He could only obediently lead the others up the stairs. There were 3 flights of stairs. There were only a few dozen steps. The lobby supervisor seemed to have walked the longest road in his life. When he finally reached the door of the Xanadu private room on the 3rd floor, he finally breathed a sigh of relief. However, Soo-yoon didn't mean to let him go. He pointed at the door and motioned for him to open it. Me. The lobby supervisor pointed at his nose, opened his eyes wide in surprise, and said in a low voice, "Boss, don't make fun of me. The 3rd floor is full of VIPs and rich people. I can't afford to offend anyone. Please do me a favor and let me go. If you have any grievances, you can solve them by yourself. Don't make it difficult for me." Soo-yoon wouldn't give him time to go out and call the police. On the way here, he saw that the police station on the coast of Dongjuang was very close to this place. If someone called the police, it would only take a few minutes for the police to come. Soo-yoon didn't know how many people there were. He wasn't sure if he could handle it in a short time, so he didn't let him go easily. Just when the lobby manager was still pointing at himself and shaking his head, Soo-yoon suddenly reached out and pushed him into the private room. The people in the private room were shocked by the sudden intruder and all stood up. However, when they saw that it was the lobby supervisor, they all breathed a sigh of relief. There were 5 people sitting around the huge table. Guagua and Cho-yun were among them. Guagua looked very calm, but Cho-yun looked very weak. In the face of the sudden interruption, both of them were expressionless. They glanced at each other and then continued to look at the table. The man sitting in the chair in the middle of the table frowned and said to the lobby supervisor, "I didn't call you. What are you doing here?" I. The lobby supervisor repeated several times, but he couldn't say anything. Soo-yoon, who had confirmed the situation outside, stepped into the private room and said with a smile, "The boss ordered more dishes and asked him to ask you what you want." Soo-yoon's appearance was like the most violent torpedo bomb in the deep sea. Cho-yun's weak face suddenly became red, and Guagua was so excited that she directly jumped up. No longer suppressing her emotions, she shouted loudly, "Daddy, save us!" The man sitting in the chair in the middle of the table slammed the table and stood up. The 2 men on his left stood up without hesitation and threw themselves at Soo-yoon. Soo-yoon raised his foot and kicked the lobby supervisor standing in front of him into the arms of one of the men. He concentrated all his strength on one of the opponents. Since the opponent's second-rate master was only qualified to watch the car downstairs, the person who could eat at this table must be a first-rate master, right? Sure enough, the opponent was indeed very strong. A few fierce punches forced Soo-yoon to step back a few steps, but after all, there was a gap in strength. Soo-yoon found the opportunity when the opponent punched back and quickly kicked the opponent's lower abdomen. When the opponent blocked with both hands, Soo-yoon's moves changed rapidly, and he hit the opponent's chest with a punch. In anger, Soo-yoon's every move was deadly. Even if the opponent was a first-rate master who was hit in the chest, he couldn't withstand the powerful true chi. He quickly retreated and hit the wall. There was a sweet taste in his mouth, and he spat out a mouthful of blood. At this time, the other man had already pushed the lobby supervisor aside. Seeing that his own man was hit, he picked up a chair and threw it at Soo-yoon. Soo-yoon leaned to the side to avoid the opponent's attack. He strode forward and raised his knee to hit the opponent's lower abdomen. The opponent quickly retreated, taking small steps back to avoid Soo-yoon's attack. However, once Soo-yoon started attacking, it wasn't so easy to stop. He followed up with a whip kick on the opponent's face. The huge force sent the opponent flying out of the window, and he fell heavily from the 3rd floor. Seeing Su Yun so mighty and majestic, Guagua couldn't help but stand up and clap. Beautiful! Dad, you're invincible! After dealing with these two people, the man standing opposite Su Yun finally couldn't help but reveal a sinister smile. Amazing, it seems that we all underestimated your strength. Ha ha ha, brother, why don't we sit down and have a peaceful chat? Su Yun sneered. Things have already come to this, what's there to talk about? The man swung his right hand, and a sharp broad-faced short knife appeared in his hand. The knife looked very ugly, without any sense of beauty. Ha 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 ha, if we really want to fight, I won't necessarily lose. So, I still suggest you sit down and have a good chat with me. Su Yun stared at the ugly broad-faced short knife for a few seconds, then raised his head and stared coldly at the man. You're the executioner, Miao Dao. That's right, this man was Miao Dao, nicknamed the Executioner by the underground world. He relied on an ugly short knife that looked like a kitchen knife to get such a terrifying title in the underground world where experts were as common as clouds. One could imagine how powerful his strength was. Miao Dao didn't deny it. He seemed to be used to the feeling of being recognized and feared. He nodded and said, "That's right, I'm the Executioner Miao Dao." "Brother, who are you? Why haven't I heard of such a fierce person like you in the underground world?" Su Yun didn't answer him. "You don't need to know who I am. You just need to know that now let them go. Miao Dao, although you don't know who I am, I believe that the Emperor of Lunan, Wang Long Huang, knows who I am. I hope you understand what I mean." There was a slight change in Miao Dao's expression. He looked up at Su Yun and said coldly, "You actually know Wang Long Huang? Who the hell are you? Go ask your master." Su Yun snorted, turned around and wanted to take Guagua and Cho Yun away. But at this time, Miao Dao suddenly took out a remote control-like button device in his hand and said angrily to Su Yun, "If you dare to take another step forward, then be careful of the bombs on them." Su Yun's footsteps froze on the spot. Guagua helplessly pointed to an unknown object on her wrist, and then pointed to the same unknown object on Cho Yun's wrist. The bracelet-like thing was locked and tightly attached to the wrist like a handcuff. It was impossible to remove it. "Do you think I'm still Wang Longhuang's man? Ha ha, it seems that you really know too little." Miao Dao raised his head and laughed. "I'm no longer in that damned place Lunan. Don't use Wang Longhuang to pressure me. Let me tell you, you'd better not force me. Although this wrist-type controlled bomb won't kill anyone, it can make them lose their arms. If you're willing to let these two beauties become disabled forever, then take them away." Su Yun's heart felt as if it was fiercely squeezed by someone's hand. At this moment, he had an impulse to kill. But he soon realized that he had to be calm at this time. After quickly calming himself down, Su Yun took a deep breath. "Then what do you want? Tell me, what do you want to let them go?" Chapter 592. Pluto. Su Yun was somewhat surprised. He didn't expect Lang Chen to be involved in Guagua's matter. It had been a long time since Lang Chen had interfered in Hua Xia's underground world. He was the local tyrant on his Pluto island, surrounded by a group of experts. No matter where he went, there would be people nodding and bowing to him. Why did he suddenly interfere in Hua Xia's underground world? Su Yun couldn't understand this at all. Speaking of which, Su Yun really didn't want his opponent to be someone of this level. In terms of age, Pluto Lang Chen was nearly 20 years older than Su Yun, but he was still able to maintain his youthful appearance and mentality. Therefore, the two of them weren't from the same era. When Lang Chen rose to power, it should be when Zhang Jiaji, the evil god, and the others retreated behind the scenes in the underground world. At that time, Su Yun hadn't been born yet. Now, Lang Chen had retreated behind the scenes and was too lazy to fight for fame in the underground world. Moreover, his strength had far surpassed the level of super experts. But even so, cultivators yearned to be strong in their hearts. Moreover, cultivation was endless. This was a very simple logic that everyone knew. Therefore, even though Lang Chen had left Huaxia's underground world and was living a carefree life on the island he had bought, it was normal for him to be unable to hold himself back if he were to learn of a faster way to break through his mental state. You betrayed Lu Nan, son of heaven, Wang Long Huang, but sought refuge with Pluto Lang Chen. Su Yun said indifferently. I always thought that the executioner Miao Dao was an indomitable person, but I didn't expect him to be such a disloyal and unjust person. What can I say to someone like you? He he. Obviously, Su Yun's laughter made Miao Dao very unhappy. After all, the word he had already been chosen as the most hurtful word on the internet. It obviously meant sneering and disdain. No matter what, whether it was under Wang Long Huang or Lang Chen, Miao Dao was an important person. No one dared to treat him like this in front of him. Even Wang Long Huang and Lang Chen treated him well. Now, an unknown person dared to treat him with disdain in front of him. Moreover, there were other people present now. Miao Dao was even more embarrassed. Naturally, he wouldn't be merciful to Su Yun. Miao Dao's clenched fists and the veins on his forehead were all proof of his current mood. He seemed to be unable to suppress his urge to kill Su Yun. Brother, Pluto asked me this time to bring this violent fox venerable and this girl away. I don't want to cause trouble. I'm in a good mood today, so I'll spare you this once. You'd better think about what kind of person the Netherworld King is before standing in front of me and talking to me like this. If these words were placed in front of an ordinary person, it would definitely have a huge impact. How many people could afford to offend the Nether King? At least, Miao Dao felt that there weren't many people in the entire Huaxia continent who dared to stand up and challenge the Netherworld King. That was why he said those words. Moreover, he really didn't want to make things too troublesome. After all, he just needed to complete his mission. Even if it's the Pluto, he has to get my permission if he wants to take my goddaughter away. Su Yun didn't intend to be polite anymore. As long as I don't agree to it, even if it's the Emperor, he can King CK off to wherever he goes. Also, I'm not your brother. Don't call me so intimately. It's disgusting, do you understand? Miao Dao couldn't take it anymore. He had forgotten Lang Chen's repeated instructions. As long as he found this little girl, he didn't have to pay attention to it no matter what happened. He just had to bring her back. Brat, you're really asking for it. Do you think that you can use the same luck to deal with me just because you got rid of Green Ghost by luck? Let me tell you, you're still far from it. Miao Dao had already started to accumulate power, trying to find the right time to give Su Yun a fatal blow. Su Yun wasn't a rookie either. He had already made all the preparations for battle. He knew very well how powerful it was for Miao Dao to be called an executioner, so he definitely wouldn't make the mistake of underestimating his opponent. When enemies meet on a narrow path, the wise would win. Su Yun was patiently observing everything. After all, he still had the remote control that could make the bomb explode. If it weren't for this, Su Yun wouldn't have wasted so much time talking to him. He just wanted to provoke him. It was very difficult to determine the victor between super experts of similar strength, but whoever was angry first would most likely lose half of the battle. Anger would often affect the true qi and internal strength in a person's body, even for ordinary people. When anger erupted, it might be very terrifying, but when anger eliminated a part of the true qi and internal strength, there would be a slight disadvantage in terms of physical strength and reaction speed. As long as there was a slight flaw, any super expert would have the ability to take advantage of the opponent's fleeting flaw. Miao Dao knew very little about Su Yun's background. Perhaps he only knew his name and his strength when he fought with Green Ghost. After all the information he could get was from Green Ghost. Of course, Miao Dao wouldn't make the low-level mistake of underestimating the opponent. Even if the opponent's strength was slightly higher than Green Ghost's and he didn't take it seriously, he still treated him with caution. After all, the people who fell in Su Yun's hands weren't only Red Scorpion, Leopard Girl, Flowery Monk, and the Scarred Clown. There were also super experts like Green Ghost and Jin Xiao. If it wasn't for Miao Dao's cautiousness, he probably wouldn't have been valued by Lang Chen and let him handle this matter. Of course, Miao Dao wasn't the only one who had a subtle psychological change. Su Yun's heart had also changed. At first, he only wanted to save Chou Yun and Guagua, but now it was different. Now, not only did he need to save Chou Yun and Guagua, he also needed to ask Miao Dao how he knew about Green Ghost, and what Lang Chen had heard from Green Ghost's mouth. From seeking to escape to seeking victory, Su Yun needed to have firm confidence. Although Su Yun's cultivation breakthrough was abnormally fast because of Guagua, Su Yun still felt a little guilty. After all, the speed at which his state of mind improved made him feel completely insecure and unaccustomed. Although Su Yun's state of mind had now broken through to the level of a Tier 4 super expert, in his own consciousness, he was still only at the level of a Tier 1 or Tier 2 super expert. However, this feeling of lowering his own status was pretty good. At least, Su Yun wouldn't be arrogant and conceited. Miao Dao, who was also a Tier 4 super expert like Su Yun, was different. In his heart, he only fixed Su Yun at the level of a Tier 1 or Tier 2 super expert like Green Ghost. Even if he didn't underestimate his opponent, it was natural for him to feel superior. After the two of them really fought, Su Yun, who lowered his own status, wouldn't be annoyed by 1 or 2 losses. Instead, he would increase his confidence because he gained the upper hand once or twice. Miao Dao, who had a sense of superiority in his heart, was different. If he suffered a loss at Su Yun's hands, he would definitely be annoyed, and he definitely wouldn't be confident because he gained the upper hand. He would only feel that it was a natural thing, but he would feel depressed and lose confidence because he lost the upper hand. From all aspects, Su Yun was the one with the right time, place, and people. However, the result had to be proven with one's fists. It was just a logical analysis, and it was impossible to analyze anything. However, before he made a move, Su Yun had to ensure the safety of Chou Yun and Guagua. Only then could he fight Miao Dao without worry. "Do you dare to make a bet?" This sudden sentence stunned Miao Dao. He was slightly stunned. "What kind of trick are you trying to play with me?" Su Yun sneered disdainfully. "If you don't dare, just say it directly. Don't find excuses. If you dare, just say it. If you don't dare, just say it. If you're a man, don't change the topic. Aren't you too arrogant?" Miao Dao couldn't help but say, "You don't think you have the strength to completely defeat me, do you? Humph, if you think that's okay, then fine. Whatever you want to bet, just say it. I'll bet on myself. If you can beat me, I'll not only let you take the two of them away, I'll also go back with you. In the future, I'll be one of your subordinates." Su Yun, maybe it doesn't sound like much, but if you think about it carefully, it's still very beneficial to you. You can clearly calculate how much I can help you do. I'm a man of my word. If I don't fulfill my promise today, may the heavens strike me with lightning. This bargaining chip was indeed not a small one for Miao Dao. The only person under him who could do things now was Drunken Sword Immortal Hu Lai. Indeed, Hu Lai's nickname was really intimidating. People would mistake him for someone on the level of Drunken Sword Immortal Shenyuan Ge. However, he was definitely not someone who could do things after drinking. If he used Miao Dao, it was better to call him Drunken Sword Ghost. He was a drunken ghost. If Su Yun could work for him under him, then wouldn't his status increase a lot? Ghost Dr. Pang Juanda, Poisonous Ant Huang Yu, Bloodthirsty Mole Yang Yi, these people all had a higher status than Miao Dao in front of Lang Chen. The reason was very simple: they had no contributions. However, every time Miao Dao brought Hu Lai to do something, Hu Lai would make some fatal mistakes because of alcohol, making him feel ashamed to report. Now that he had such an opportunity to expand his strength, how could Miao Dao be willing to give it up? Su Yun stared at Miao Dao, indicating that he should answer as soon as possible. "Then what do you want me to take out?" Miao Dao couldn't help but tempt him. "What do you want to bet with me?" "Bet on the remote control button of the bomb in your hand," Su Yun said directly. Miao Dao was slightly startled. "You only want that?" "Yes." Su Yun still didn't hesitate. For Miao Dao, this was a sure-win deal. Even if he didn't bet, if the two of them fought and lost, he would still have to give it to him. Now, he had an additional opportunity to make the other party work like a cow or a horse if he won. This wasn't just a little profit, it was simply a sure win deal. For Miao Dao, this was indeed a good thing. However, for Su Yun, this was an even better proposal. As long as Miao Dao agreed, he could ensure the safety of Guagua and Chou Yun. When the time came, he would have no qualms about making a move. On the other hand, Miao Dao didn't dare to make a fatal move in order to make Su Yun work for him in the future. This unknowingly reduced Su Yun's personal safety problem. Taking a step back, even if Su Yun lost, he still had the opportunity to go to Netherworld King Island with Guagua and Chou Yun. As long as he could still see them, Su Yun believed that there would be a chance to solve the problem. This was the best method Su Yun could think of in a short period of time. It all depended on whether Miao Dao would take the bait or not. After a short period of thought, Miao Dao finally spoke. Okay. I'll listen to you. I'll bet with you. Whoever breaks the contract will be a motherless beast in their next life. Su Yun nodded and smiled. He pointed at himself, Guagua and Chou Yun. My chips are all here. What about yours? Aren't you going to take them out? Isn't that a little unfair? What if you change your mind? I can't snatch them from you. You're tuning in to the Narrate and Escape YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.